Good evening. Hello, hello. Welcome to Sunday night playing interactive fiction, strange text games with me, Jason McIntosh. You can call me Jag and Mac if you'd like. So the last couple of weeks, not the last couple of weeks, I didn't do last week. Did I do last week? What I'm saying is it's Christmas, and a couple of previous weekends in December, I streamed Andrew Plotkin's Hadean Lands, the first 4 hours of that, and it was delightful. It being Christmas weekend, I did not want to do that. I wanted to take a break from that. So instead, I'm going to play what I hope to be some one off games that I can do in a single evening. And what better game to start with, said I after about 3 seconds thought, then you come to a house not unlike the previous one by BJ Best, which took first prize in this year's interactive fiction competition, which you can find at ifconf.org. I know nothing about this game. I did not participate in any meaningful way in IFComp this year. This is the first year since 2013 that I didn't help run it. During those years, I paid special mind to not playing any of the games, much less express any public opinion about them, because I knew too much, and they were all my precious little children. I valued them all equally. This is the first year that I am under no such obligations. I can play them. I can even vote on them if I felt like it. But this has also been a very busy year for me, very hectic year. And I ended up not actually voting or actually playing any of the games except for one, which it's not this one. So let's play this one. This says, I'll just read the blurb. And then you come to a house not unlike the previous one, BJ Best. Title, Infinite Adventure. Year, 1986. Genre, Adventure. Summary, wander through an apparently infinite number of spooky mansions, solving a basic puzzle in each one. ForgottenGames.com rating, 3 stars. So that's the meta narrative. And then the ifcomp.org official information is the author has tagged it as taking about 2 hours, and it is parser based. So without further ado, I'm going to switch us over to the game window, and I'm just going to commence playing and see where this goes. Again, I don't know where this is going. I did ask a friend before starting if I would regret it playing this online and streaming. My friend said, no, should be fine. So let's just start. You have played interactive fiction before. As such, you know to press any key to continue when there is no command prompt, such as now. And then you come to a house not unlike the previous one, uses the latest in ASCII graphic technology to occasionally write high-res, text-based images directly onto a screen that is 80 characters wide or more. The graphics are ornamental and not required for the story. Would you like to use ASCII graphics? Yes or no? I will pause and nod my head appreciatively at this affordance to accessibility, because, as many of you have already know why it's asking, it's not just for people who are like, ASCII graphics are ugly. It's specifically for people who think ASCII graphics are ugly because they play IF through a screen reader, and therefore ASCII graphics cause their screen reader to just read a bunch of punctuation symbols and gobbledygook that has no meaning at all. And that's awesome. That is not the case for us. The screen reader is myself. I have no trouble visually distinguishing the graphics from the text, and I will not read to you the graphics. So I'm going to press yes. I do want graphics. You can change these settings at any time by typing ASCII on or ASCII off to turn the graphics mode on or off, respectively. Type help at any time for additional information on how to play this story. Type exit to quit the story entirely. Press any key to begin. And friends, before we do begin, I just want to do a quick housekeeping check just to make sure the streaming is acting as I think it does, because I am a noob at this, and everything does look good to me. So, cool. All right. Press any key to begin. Don't mind if I do. can't believe this rain, you say, still shaking it from your hair. You left your raincoat and your snow boots because you're 14 and your father makes you wear snow boots in the rain when you're riding your bike to Riley's house in a heap by the front door. Stupid February. Well, at least you made it, Riley says. She's sitting in an old padded folding chair. Yeah, it's good to be here, you say, like you're a contestant on a game show. Oh, yeah, it's good to be here, you say, like you're a contestant on a game show or something. You look around the room that Riley's family used to call the office. Thanks, Schmeich, for the word of confidence. With its things now mostly packed into boxes, the room looks more like the small spare bedroom it always was. You haven't been over since she told you a month ago that she was moving to some small town in Wisconsin. But Riley's here, and the computer's here, and that's what matters for now. Have you played the game yet? You told me to wait to play it with you about 1 billion times, she said. I know, it just sounds so cool, which you also said 1 billion times. Every game will be different. There's an endless number of them. Another billion. So 3 billion then. At least, Riley says, and then she sticks out her tongue at you, not quite succeeding at trying not to smile. At least, I suppose she actually said. Then she catches you trying to make sense of the odd bareness of the room. So let's play already, she says, patting the chair beside her. And then in a grand voice, have a seat, dearest Emerson. Thy chariot of infinite adventure awaits. You sit in front of the keyboard. The drama club is really going to miss you, huh? Shut up, dearest Emerson, Riley says. Oh, there's some of those. That's hot. Infinite Adventure presents The Gluttonous Elf. Adventure number 1. Difficulty level. Dull. Press any key to continue. Drawing room. You are in the drawing room. The corners are coated with dust. You can go east. Wait, did the last screen say dull? Riley says. Let's try some typical interactive fiction introductory commands. Examine myself. You look precisely like the kind of person who would wander around an infinite number of spooky houses, all of which inexplicably do not have any way of leaving them. All right. I can respect that. Let's follow the prompts. Sitting room. You are in the sitting room. Through a window, you see an abandoned garden. Exits are north, south, west. You see a feather here. All right. It's a small white feather. Let's pick that up. Also, I have to apologize. My screen is flickering a bit. This appears to be a strange interaction between the IF parser interpreter Lectrote and OBS, and I keep saying I'm going to look into it, and I haven't. So please forgive the occasional flickers. Garden, though. Check that out. Looks a little weird, but inconsequential. Oh, is that the generic? I wonder if I look at something else. Okay, never mind. Looks creepy, but unimportant. Okay, I'm detecting a pattern there. Fine. Well, we've already been to the west. Let's just make sure that the rooms are not connected in some weird way. Okay. These, after I look at the dust, these descriptions are boring but kind of lame, Riley says, throwing you a bemused look. Indeed, Riley. Oh, these rooms feel so realistic. It's almost as if I'm actually there, Riley says, leaning forward, chin on hands, as if enthralled. You give her a sidelong glance, then return to the screen. Right, Riley's getting bored, so let's find a new place. Salon. You are in the salon. The furniture is coated with cobwebs. You can go north. This place is pretty dull. A carrot. 1 carrot, leaves still attached. You could give it to someone who might be hungry. All right. And we just have to do things we picked up. Can't go that way. Servants' quarters. You are in the servants' quarters. The walls are painted purple. Exits south. You see an elf here. Hello, Mr. Elf, Ms. Elf, Mix Elf. Okay, there you go. He is short, fat, and elfish. You could talk to him. Sounds just like my Uncle Larry, Riley says. What if I be snide here? No, okay, that doesn't work. Hello, the elf says. I sure am starving. Could you bring me something to eat? I want to see if we can actually look at Riley. It worked. Riley sits next to you on a padded folding chair. The rest of the furniture has apparently been packed and moved to some other part of the house. She's graciously let you sit at the keyboard. She mostly looks at the screen. She occasionally looks around the rather empty room, but never, it takes a few moments to register this, directly at you. Okay, can we talk to Riley? Try talking to Riley instead. We're just going to ignore the game now. Game seems a little weak so far, she says, but maybe it gets better, Em. Let's keep playing. Righto, Riley. Well, do the thing. Thank you, friend, the elf says. You've made a hungry elf very happy. Here, take this as my thanks, he says, and hands you a piece of paper. You win! Press any key to continue. The screen fills with a flurry of asterisks. Oh, that's my kind of flurry. And other typography flashing through various colors to simulate fireworks. This is the best part of the game so far, Riley says, and it's hard for you to disagree. And then you come to a house not unlike the previous one, an iterative fiction by B.J. Best. Release 1, serial number 211213. My, that was a couple of weeks ago. This is a hot new release. Inform 7, build 6M62, Inform 6, version 6.33, library 612N. And then you come to a house not unlike the previous one. Infinite Adventure presents The Avaricious Thief, adventure number 2, difficulty level tedious. Sitting room. You are in the sitting room. Some chairs with dull floral patterns are arranged in a haphazard manner. Through a window, you see leaves being blown out of an abandoned garden. Odd preposition, blown out of a garden. You can go south to the library, east to the master bedroom, and west to the study. At least tedious is better than dull, you say. Infinitely better, Riley says. Yeah, sorry for making a 14-year-old girl sound like a 47-year-old man, but that's how we're doing it tonight. Righto. Well, the descriptions are filling out a bit. That is true. There was a feather we didn't use to the south. Can I look at the things? Is there dust here? They're overstuffed chairs, mostly pink with floral designs. They're dusty and disheveled. Okay, so the descriptions are a little better now, if I can make a judgment call like that. It's a plate glass window set into the wall, unbreakable and unopenable. I'm going to guess that the things in the rooms are not really meant to be interacted with, other than you can look at them to get more flavor. So let's get on with the game. What if I talk to Riley some more? The game gets better than this, right? She says. It must. Okay. Library. You are in the library. There are many shelves filled with old books. You can go north to the sitting room and east to the solarium. Ooh, that's new. Wasn't I just... Oh, no. North is... steel chest is not a feather. It's a lustrous steel chest. It has a brass lash and an... Oh, my goodness. An escutcheon? I think that's how you pronounce that. Sir, one doesn't often need to pronounce this word. A thingy surrounding the keyhole on the lid. It's locked. Escutcheon, you say. It's French for tedious, Riley says. We have to try it. Oh my goodness. Escouche? Friends, I don't know what this word is. I don't know what I'm doing. I got literally no letters in there, right? Oh, well, it turns out it's a standard latching keyhole made of shiny brass. We all learned something today. We're not going to get much in here then. Let's check out the solarium. You are in a solarium. Dirty windows fill the southern wall and half the ceiling. There is little here but a few pots devoid of their plants. You can go north to the master bedroom and west to the library. You can see an iron key here. Wow, this is still pretty bare. Key is one step away from the chest. Let's go depth first here. You know what? I'm going to be super precise. Oh, come on. That doesn't seem to be the right type of key. The key is made of iron, but the latch and keyhole are brown. Yay, adventure logic. I love you. Okay, good. Good. I know where we are. I know just where we are. Master, oh, this is where we were. North, okay. Master bedroom. You are in the master bedroom. An old bed frame occupies most of the room. You can go west to the sitting room or south to the solarium. You can see a wooden chest here. Let's look at this object. Oh, I see. It's an old wooden chest, similar to ones pirates might use, but less interesting. There's an iron padlock on it. Okay. You insert the key, and with some force, the lock pops open. Immediately thereafter, both the lock and the key dissolve into a pile of ferrous dust. Whew. Wow, that's cool. Open the pirate chest. Oh, there's your brass key. That's what we want. Anything else to look at in here? Examine bed. It's rows of rusty springs strung across an equally rusty frame. Well, let's... That sentence is... get on bed. It's not something you can enter. Well. All right. No, I'm not going to bother. Yes, the other chest. I can say with key, because the first key is now a pile of ferrous dust. You unlock the steel chest. You open the steel chest, revealing a brilliant ruby. I guess this is going to be the avaricious thief getting the ruby, and that'll probably... Oh no, we haven't won yet. It's a beautiful red stone, cut and polished. Back to the sitting room. At least the descriptions are a bit better, you say, and Riley grudgingly agrees. I guess we start... Oh my goodness. You're in the study. A desk is pressed against the wall, upon which an era-inappropriate computer monitor sits. You can go east to the sitting room. You can see a thief here. I'm going to ignore the thief. Check out the computer, see if there's any games on this. That's pretty weird. A modern computer monitor sits, you guess, on the desk. Strange wording. It's got static on its screen, but it isn't static, really. Instead, it's more like the monitor itself is fritzing in and out of existence. It doesn't seem to have any buttons or anything, or even a power cord. The thief doesn't seem to notice it. Any thoughts on this, Riley? It's a weird game that would advertise itself as tedious, she says. Now her eyes are on the prize. Okay, Riley, I respect that. Oh. The thief looks rather dashing in her green tunic and tan pants. Say, she wears a hat that makes her look approximately like Robin Hood. She carries a leather satchel on one shoulder. You could talk to her. Welcome, the thief says smoothly, tucking a strand of hair behind her ear. There's nothing I want more than riches. If you could find something valuable to give me, I could make it worth your while. It must be that ruby, Riley says. I imagine it's not something like the power of a child's love. Chuckle a bit at that. I wonder if the show verb works. I have to be a smartass here. I'm sorry, everybody. Sorry, everybody. Gotta make the rounds. Gotta try my standard verbs. Oh. Okay. Thank you, friend, the thief says. You've made an avaricious thief very happy. Here, let me give you something equally precious and valuable. The thief then reaches to her hat and withdraws a single pin. So we have a paper and a pin. She hands it to you. Extremely precious, she says. Do take care of it. You win! Stupid hat pin. I've got a bobby pin in my hair, Riley says, and she lowers her head so you can see. You think I can go down to the jewelry store and get an emerald for it? And then you come to a house not unlike the previous one. Infinite Adventure presents The Disorganized Witch, Adventure number 3, difficulty level, trans-dimensional. Guest bedroom. You are in what you presume was a guest bedroom at one time, but it's hard to tell as it's almost entirely empty. You can go south to the hall. You can see a metal safe here. What's with the vocabulary words? Avaricious? Trans-dimensional? I would have studied more had I known there was going to be a test, Riley says, and then you both smile. Riley never studies. I have a theory that our inventory contains the things we've been picking up. What do you think? By gosh, It has, and also the brass key, which did not disintegrate into a pile of brass patina, I suppose. Okay. Tedious leaflet. Oh dear. It's a small, plain piece of paper. Someone has used a dot matrix printer to announce the following: keys must match their locks, which is something that's pretty obvious to anyone who's ever used a key, or a lock, or common sense. A gust of wind shivers the windows of Riley's house, as opposed to the game house. It's the outer game house, not the inner game house. We have an extremely valuable hat pin. This is the pin of the thief. This is the pin the thief pulled out of her hat. It must be extremely valuable, since you exchanged a ruby for it. And we already know about the key and the feather. I guess we just get to keep everything that we pick up that doesn't go away. Fine. Very good. I need to remember where we are. Guest bedroom. Metal safe. It's a small metal safe that has a keyhole when you might otherwise expect, a combination dial. It's bolted to the floor. Well, we have a key. You appear to be confusing Infinite Adventure number 3, The Disorganized Witch, with Infinite Adventure number 2, The Avaricious Thief. Okay. Alright, so that's your game, is it? You are in the hall. You are in the long, empty hallway. Through the mansion window, you see a wrought iron fence. You can go north to the guest bedroom and west to the office. We've already been there. Here's that window again. Window is not interesting. Oh my goodness. I'm going to read everything. You entered an incongruously modern office. There's a long desk in the middle, atop which are standard office things: a computer, a telephone, a lamp. The desk is covered in layers of scattered papers. There are 2 chairs in front of the desk and a fake potted plant in the corner. You can go back east to the hall. A witch works behind the desk, talking on the telephone. Upon seeing you enter, the witch mutters into the telephone, Lori, I'm going to have to call you back. Yeah, kid got in here again. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to have to talk to Adam about it. Okay, bye. The witch hangs up and briskly rises to meet you at the door. She wears a red blazer with matching pants and towers over you as she approaches. Well, well, another little adventurer, she says, shaking your hand in a formal way. I thought we had fixed that particular problem. Have you enjoyed the houses and the chests and the goblins and whatnot? Before you can answer, she continues, as you might imagine, you're not supposed to be here. But since you are, let's do some random quality assurance, shall we? Inventory. You are carrying an extremely valuable hat pin, a brass key, a tedious leaflet, a feather. It's amazing how we can make money with all these freebies. Let's see. Good to know Bernie is still handing out these leaflets. Doesn't look too creased. We can reuse that. Thank you. She begins talking faster. And I'm not sure if you follow the markets, but the cost of brass has risen considerably, so I'll take that key kindly as well. That feather doesn't look like one of ours, but we have more than 10,000 pillows that could stand restuffing. Sheila is still calling these hat pins extremely valuable, is she? Well, she can buy them for $5 a bushel, but every penny counts, as they say. She snaps her fingers, and these items seem to dissolve from your possessions. Now, let's review, she says. Inventory. You are carrying nothing. Much better, don't you think? And before you have a chance to answer or protest, she seems to remember something and looks directly upward. Oh, right, she says. Hello, I'm the witch, and I desperately need you to bring me something. But you see, my little friend, and she points to her desk and the papers, I can order whatever I need. So, alas, that doesn't give you much of a task, does it? But if you've noticed, lo, I am the disorganized witch. My desk is a train wreck. So if you could bring me something to help with all these papers, it'd be just capital. Like what? You finally get to say. I don't care. A binder? A stapler? A folder? Anything to help clasp, grasp, hold, grip, or enclose forever and ever and ever. Won't you please help, dear adventurer, won't you? Without your gift, I will always be the disorganized witch. She takes a moment to regard you. You're dismissed, she says with a brusque head nod. She then returns to her desk and punches some numbers into her phone. Sorry about that, Lori, she says. Okay. All that happened. You are carrying nothing. We'll need to get at least 6 more orders of dusty furniture, the witch says to the person on the phone. I don't get it. The game is broken? Riley says. You shrug in response. Let's talk to Riley some more. She's my anchor here. I know you were excited to play Infinite Adventure, but I've got some other games for us to play too, she says. The witch jots down something on scratch paper. Nah, okay. I guess we're just gonna explore then. Check the witch out, I guess. She's a tall woman wearing a red blazer with shoulder pads that make her look a bit like a linebacker. You wouldn't be able to classify her as a witch at all, save for the matching red wand that sparkles on her desk. Aha. She appears to be someone who is constantly busy. No, April will be too late, the witch says. Oh, I'm just gonna get that one. That's clearly the witch's wand, and you're not sure you want to be on the business end of it should she catch you stealing it. The witch places one of her hands on her forehead in exasperation. Let's look at things in the office. It's a huge metal desk, probably steel. It's dented and battered. Well, why can't we ship wine across state lines? Let's look at her computer. The witch's computer doesn't appear to have the software for Infinite Adventure number 3, The Disorganized Witch. You take a moment to appreciate this tragedy. 58 crates of carrots. Okay, I don't want to hang out here. We'll need more keys than that. There's a lamp, 2 chairs, fake potted plant. Try examine instead. These feathers were a terrible investment. It looks unnaturally green and healthy because it is fake. We need to hire 53 more fairies by Wednesday. Okay, let's go back into the hall and search around more to find something to help the disorganized witch. The titular disorganized witch. Or is it the eponymous? I always get those words confused. It doesn't matter. Let's go north. We don't have a brass key, so we're not looking for brass things anymore. There's nothing else to do here. Can we just open the safe? Seems to be locked. Interesting. Can we try violence? I guess you're proof that video games do in fact cause violence. Oh ho ho. Okay, so it's not one of those saves that have been unlocked the whole time. Hum-da-dum. There's no other way to go. Riley, give us a hint. I've even got a couple of surprises for you, she says with suggestive eyebrows. Riley, keep your head in the game. I don't know what's going on there. Come on, Em, let's quit and play something else. There's nothing to do here, Riley says. Oh, she's getting bored. Now I'm scared this will turn into Inscription, and I haven't even played Inscription because it's not out for Mac as of December 26th, 2021. I'm just going to look at things. It's a fence with a bunch of those pointy things along its length. You're assuming it's wrought of iron, though without a magnet or knowledge of metallurgy. There's no way to be sure. So many metals. Yeah, I'm just going to go back to the witch. Hi. I'm stuck. She looks busy, and you don't care to find out what would happen if you interrupt her again. The witch holds the phone receiver between her chin and her shoulder, makes a quick drink from the coffee mug. Takes a quick drink from the coffee mug that must have been hidden from behind some papers on her desk. Well, I guess we'll just look around inside of her, the stuff that's here. The papers appear to be invoices, order forms, bills, graph, and allied business materials. They make one large mess on the desk, so it's impossible to say what they're all for. You haven't seen the latest expense ratios. Can I clean the paper? Okay, it did recognize tidy paper. The witch said she'd like you to bring her something to help her organize her office. You'd have no idea how to undertake the task yourself. Well, that's fair. There's a lamp. Check out the lamp. It's a simple desk lamp with a green sconce and a brass base. Yeah, we're putting the mansion remodel on hold. Can't go that way. Looking at a spreadsheet. Can I look at the spreadsheet? Yes, I can. And it has endless rows of columns and numbers. The witch shuffles through the papers on her desk, trying to find an invoice. Right. Don't think there's anything else here. There's a phone. It's a modern office phone, black with a suite of buttons above the keypad, all unlabeled. Well, well. The witch is using the phone and would likely be displeased if you started pushing random buttons on it. You decide to stay away from her side of the desk. I need to talk to Adam about that. No, tell Sheila to stop telling people that those hat pins are worth anything more than a nickel. What if you sit in the chair? You're not interested in meeting further with the witch, and it's clear the witch feels similarly about the situation. The profit margins on wax lips are down by 22%. Seriously, this is getting lame, Riley says. There's an edge in her voice you don't usually hear. Okay, I guess I'll just quit then. Ba-ba-bum-ba-bum-bum. Are you sure you want to quit Infinite Adventure? Oh, that's a loaded question because I guess I want to quit Infinite. I don't want to quit the game I'm playing, but I want to quit the game inside the game I'm playing. If I type yes, will the game get new? Like, no. Well, let's keep infinitely adventuring. I mean, I'm going to... Okay, I'm going to be really paranoid. Probably it won't actually nuke the game if I hit quit. It probably wants me to do it, but I'm going to be very paranoid and save. And now I'm going to quit. Yes. Thanks for playing. The office. You're sitting in front of the computer in the room Riley's family calls the office. But the room doesn't look like much of anything anymore. Most of the contents are packed in moving boxes and shoved against one wall. The furniture has been removed, save for the desk upon which the computer sits, the office chair you're sitting in, and the chair Riley is sitting in, and an old folding one. Oh, and the chair Riley's sitting in, an old folding one she must have dug out of somewhere. One framed artwork remains hanging on the wall. On the desk are a computer and a notebook. You can play a computer game if you'd like. Riley sits next to you. Okay, here we are. We have popped out a level. Hi, Riley. Riley is the same age as you, and you've been friends, unlikely perhaps, but friends, since you moved to Columbus 3 years ago. Go Blue Jackets. You both like computer games, Journey, and not being cool. I guess the Blue Jackets didn't exist in the year that this game takes place. My apologies. In another year, she'll only wear black. For now, she still has shoulder-length brown hair and deep blue nail polish that's flaking off. She's wearing a silver sequin shirt that is occasionally blinding in its brilliance, but mostly resembles a dead fish's scales in the dim light of The Office with a capital O. And, might I say, go Buckeyes. It took me a while to dig that one out of my memory. Okay. Hair, flaking, nail polish. Yeah, she seems cool. All right. Okay. All right. We're here with a notebook. Notebook. You pick up the notebook. A paperclip falls out onto the desk. It's a small notebook with a spiral binding at the top. It has lined yellowish paper. It's full of random notes and scribbles, but nothing important. Well, we'll just keep that. It's a silver paperclip. What else do we have here? This is the art. It's some sort of pop art portrait of a woman with black hair and nearly white skin. Her lipstick is blood red. The severe lines and few colors remind you of the cover of a Duran Duran record your father has. Yeah, I cannot think of the artist, but I know exactly what image this is. It is the image that is probably still seen on nail salons windows across the country, and also the inspiration for the Neil Gaiman character Desire from the Sandman comics. I'll let someone else do the research of what the image is. I think it's in one of the Ultimate games too. Nagel, thanks, Doug. Very 80s. Here we are. We're all in the 80s together, having a good time. We have a paperclip. Let's talk to Riley a little bit first, just to say hi, and then I'm going to dive back into the game and do the obvious next move. Oh, choices include, how do you feel about moving? Where's your mom? Will your dad be home soon? So, infinite adventure, huh? Did you say you had a bobby pin? Never mind. Well, I don't want to steal her clothing this soon. Maybe it'll be useful to pick a lock. Oh, you know what? Fine. Let's just fill our pockets. Did you say you had a bobby pin, you said? Yeah, I usually wear one, Riley says, pointing to the right side of her head above her ear. Is this a stunning revelation in your life, M? Can I have that bobby pin? That's a pretty weird thing to want, but that's what friends are for, she says, singing. But that's what friends are for, she says, singing the song you both hate. Riley reaches and pulls the pin out, a curl of hair falling and bouncing like a spring. Do take care of it, she says in a high English voice. So, infinite adventure, huh? I think it's been pretty cool so far, you say, trying to get Riley to agree with you. I think all the different characters and stuff, even if some of it is under construction or whatever, I like all the different characters and stuff. Is all Riley says. She gives a non-committal nod and then looks out the window, rain battering the glass. I don't want to talk about that heavier stuff right now. I'm excited to get back in and, I have a sweatshirt. Check that out. Your old gray sweatshirt has blocky blue letters printed on it, which advertise a college to which your father did not go, and you do not plan on going. I wonder if it's OSU, except they're the wrong color. You've got it covering your lap like a blanket, and there's kind of a chill in the office, presumably from the storm. Let's look at the rain. Right now, rain pelts Riley's house in uneven sheets. That is a mood. So I didn't have a gray sweatshirt in the game, so the wondering if you can just magically take everything you pick up in the real world into the game with you. I'm not sure about that, but things in the real world were starting to fuzz into the game. So maybe there's some of that going on. Can I pick up the notebook? You pick up the notebook. It looks like it's pages of doodles and scrawled notes, like milk, eggs. Nothing in it seems worth keeping, so you decide to put it back. Oh yeah, I already did that, didn't I? Notebook stays here. Let's check out the computer. You don't know much about computers beyond the fact that your family doesn't own one, although you've been increasingly bugging your dad about that. It's got a VGA monitor, which can draw some pretty good graphics. But if you prefer the simpler games made out of letters and other characters, Good job, Em. If you'd like to play a game, just type play. Or P. Riley says, check it out, Em. I made a batch file with all the cool stuff we could play. You just enter the number and it starts the program. Pretty cool, huh? Program menu. Welcome, Riley. Today is February 5th, 1987. Choices include Infinite Adventure, Warriors of Zanmore, Strip Poker, Password, CompuDoctor, Quit. Oh boy. Well, let's jump back into Infinite Adventure. We're right back where we last were. Autosave. Hot. And look at that. The sweatshirt followed us in, and also we are now paying attention to things happening in the real world, such as the rain pelting Riley's house even harder. It sounds like someone's dropping quarters on the roof. Go play Ms. Pac-Man with those quarters, because it's the 80s. Get some Galaga. Okay, anyway. My point is, we have a paperclip, so let's give that to our friend. The witch seems a little startled at your approach. You reach across her desk and silently hand her the paperclip so as not to interrupt her phone conversation. What? She says to you, covering the bottom of the phone receiver with her hand. Oh, right, she says before you can answer. The thing with the thing. Back into the phone, she says, George, I'm going to have to call you back in a few. And then she hangs up. Well, she says, if it isn't the little adventure back to rescue me, the disorganized witch. And here she throws the back of her right hand against her forehead in mock distress. From the perils of pernicious paperwork. She rises and meets you on your side of her desk. Yes, a paperclip will be just peachy. She grabs a random set of papers from her desk and clips them together in demonstration. Well done. You win. Huzzah, huzzah, she says to the papers, and then turning to you, etc. Now let's see what sorts of new things you've accumulated in your travels. Inventory. You are carrying a bobby pin, a gray sweatshirt. For example, a bobby pin. Not an expense we can bear, alas. And let's see if there's anything else. She snaps her fingers and you somehow feel instantly lighter. So let's do it one more time for the audience at home, she says, and you have no idea what she's talking about, but then inventory. You are carrying a gray sweatshirt. Now, that's called managing your stock, she says. Now, she says, returning to her chair, I suppose you'd like some sort of token of appreciation for making me so much more organized because, she waves her arm grandly across the mess of her desk, one paperclip will certainly accomplish that. So let's see. She rifles through the invoices, reports, and files. Aha! You're in luck, friend. For today, I am so grateful for your contribution to greater efficiency of our organization that I hereby bequeath to you this, the letter opener of valor, she says, producing a letter opener with a flourish. Love and treasure it always. A letter opener, you say, again, far later than you'd hoped to speak. Of valor, she repeats, handing it to you. It's amazing I can afford to part with such a mysterious and powerful relic. Now, as you might recall, we've got problems much larger than hunting for paperclips. I'm afraid we're going to have to shut things down for a little while here at Infinite Adventure HQ, so why don't you run along, dearest, you, and maybe rescue someone else for a while. She again picks up the phone and rapidly dials a number. Good news, George. I'm much more organized now, she says. She winks at you in what could be construed as a playful gesture, and then snaps her fingers again. The office. You're sitting in front of the computer in a room like... Start over. You're sitting in front of the computer in the room. This is all the same stuff, yes. Okay, she sent us back into the real world without so much as a how do you do. Fine. Maybe the game's a mystery or something. You say to Riley, meaning Infinite Adventure, like it wants you to do one thing, but then you have to do something else. I guess a lot of things in life are like that, Riley mumbles. Okay, let's bring up a heavy topic. How do you feel about moving? Ever since Riley told you she was moving, she has said absolutely nothing about it. You learned she was going to some town in Wisconsin, Appleton, if you remember correctly, because of her mom, and that was it. You don't know how to broach the subject, so you just blurt out, how do you feel about moving? Riley just kind of looks around the office and its boxes. Not great, she says, then looks away, clearly not wanting to say any more. Maybe there's some cool stuff there, you say. You have no idea where you're trying to steer things. Wisconsin? Ohio's lame enough. I can't imagine cows and cheese and whatever will be magically better. She nods towards the computer screen. Just, let's play, okay? You want to say more. Maybe a lot more. But whatever you can think of just seems stupid. Yeah, you stay instead. I will follow her prompt and let us play some more. Let's be rule breakers and go straight back into Infinite Adventure. Password protected. Please enter the password. Wait, what? You say. Is there supposed to be some sort of password? You glance at Riley. I don't think so. It worked fine when we started it up, she said. You huff. Well, it wants one now. I might have to ask my dad, she says, and watches your face fall. Or, hey, maybe you could try guessing one. It's probably the programmer's first name. It's always something dumb like that. Do you know the programmer's first name? There wasn't a manual, and the disc is packed away somewhere. Maybe we can just play something else. Patrick Nagel. Incorrect. Program menu. Okay, well, I got nothing on that. Let's go to the next one. I don't want to go straight into strip poker, everybody. We'll get there. Oh, I love it. Warriors of Zanmore. ASCII art of a dude, of a sword dude. You stand before the glorious fields of Zanmore, periods and pilcrows and ampersands and octothorpes. Oh, God. All in a rainbow of colors as far as the eye can see. But beware, the fields hold many dangers, evil letters in upper and lower cases. You can play, shop, or quit. A strong-looking man stands before you, running a hand through his hair. Hail, young traveler, the man calls to you. All right. The man has huge muscles and equally huge, flowing blonde hair that would be the envy of most of the girls at your school. He carries a gleaming sword with what appears to be a sharp edge for defending the land. In contrast, his clothes are ratty. He wears a dirty tunic, brown with leather straps across his broad chest to tie it together. His pants are also dirty and a darker brown. He smells like sweat and campfire smoke. Yet the overall effect is one of heroic majesty. Sure. What's my inventory looking like? letter opener of Destiny. The letter opener the witch gave you is about 8 inches long and looks rather sharp. It has a golden handle, probably brass, and a brilliant steel blade. Even if it's just a letter opener, it does look rather regal. Okay. Talk to man. Hello, inconceivably muscled computer man, you say. Hello, young apprentice. My name is Gardon, warrior of Zanmore. And what is your name? I am Emerson Reynolds, freshman from the faraway land of Ohio. Very good to meet you, Emerson. Welcome to Zanmore. You behold Gardon for a moment. That's a nice dress you're wearing, you say. Forsooth, Emerson, but I beseech you, please call it by its correct name, a tunic, Gardon says, and he points proudly at his chest. The tunic is brown and made of some sort of uncomfortable-looking cloth, but alas, it does not provide much protection from the evil beasts that now plague Zanmore. He slides the tunic off one shoulder, revealing a long and deep slash that must be quite painful, even if it is digital. You think about Gardon's injury. Why don't you get something better to wear, you say, some sort of armor? New armor would be excellent, but there appears to be none in the fields. The only armor I found is in the shop, and whoa, I do not have the coin of the realm. It is very nice chainmail armor, too. If I had some of that armor, I might be able to rid Zanmore of Zarnox's terror forever. Gardon looks almost majestic as he says the final sentence, a fist outstretched to the sky. But then he looks down, realizes he's still wearing his tunic, and drops his hand to his side. Gardon's confidence has inspired your own. I'll get you some armor, you say in your bravest voice. Warrior Emerson, I would be most grateful. 'Tis available in the shop, should you have the currency, or perhaps you will encounter some other suitable armor in your travels. Fine. Farewell. Fare thee well, Emerson, Gardon says. Okay. I don't have any money. I'm going to the shop anyway. Welcome to Zanmart for all your needs in Zanmore and more. We can buy chainmail armor, plate mail armor, a silver sword, golden gauntlets, or an amulet of Weirdna, which is Andrew spelled backwards. I'm pretty sure that's from another game. I don't have any money, and there's no sell option, so I cannot sell the letter opener or my sweatshirt. So there's nothing to do here. If I try to buy some armor. It doesn't seem like you have enough gold, warrior, a disembodied shopkeep's voice says. Thank you for shopping at Zanmart. Gardon stands before you, estimating his number of experience points. Yes. Can I check out the fields? This is the sort of game where each symbol is supposed to stand for something that makes a landscape, a tree, a rock, a mountain, and so on. But it mostly looks like a typewriter threw up. I wonder if I can attack Pilcrow. Oops. We're gonna get there. Oh my goodness. Yes, same as before. I thought maybe we could play some NetHack. Wordna is from Wizardry. Yes, I believe that is correct, Doug. Now that you pointed out. I was conflating that in my mind with the Amulet of Zot from Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup, I do believe. Another game I haven't finished. Like most games. I'm obsessed with trying to attack these letters. Oh, here we go. Is there another example? Ooh. If we keep looking, you get more things. So if I stab the R. Let's just stab a letter. Okay, I can't attack the letters from where I'm standing, even though I have this sharp letter opener of destiny. I think my options here are... He's drinking from a stream made with blue tildes. Yes. I think my options here are limited, so we need to quit. Yes, I do. Well, let's do it. We're doing it. Oh my god. Strip poker, and I'm gonna guess it says strip poker plus, and that's, I don't know if that's supposed to be a naked lady. I don't want to stretch out my screen to, or something. I don't know what's going on there. Pretty good. All right, we're doing this. Strip poker plus. You're standing in some sort of photographer studio where the colors are mostly cyan and magenta. Several lights illuminate a dull backdrop. In the middle of the room, there's a small raised floor with a stack of textbooks on it. The backs of 5 playing cards hover in the background. You can play a hand or quit because you should know better. A stripper reclines on the floor. What is going on here? Okay, there's just, we're in like, okay. Very strange. Please say hello. The stripper reclines before you in a white bodysuit you'll eventually learn is called a teddy, but at the moment you know it's only an awkward underwear thing. She wears matching white shoes with 3-inch heels. Near her waist is a stack of textbooks. Her brown hair and eyes remind you of a babysitter you had once. She rests one arm along her length and stares out to the other side of the computer screen with a wan smile. She seems comfortable, which isn't necessarily the same thing as being at ease. I mean, say hello. Hi, you say, realizing you have no idea where you're supposed to be looking. You glance at her hands, a flash of thigh, one of the photographer's lights. Hello, Emerson, the stripper says, and you're a bit taken aback she knows your name. Of course I know your name, she says, and now you're taken aback by her telepathy. We all know. I'm Ashley. My eyes are up here, by the way, she says, circling her face with a finger. Sorry, you mumble, but at least now you're looking at her. First time, I imagine. How old are you anyway, Em? All of these answers are correct. Let's be truthful. Let's be honest. You look at your shoes. 14, I guess, you say. Yeah, I know, she says. That was a test. You meet plenty of liars in this gig. Well, you pass for honesty, but that also means legally you won't be seeing any more of this. And she draws a hand down the length of her body. Nor any less of it, I suppose. Let's be awkward. So, you're a stripper, you say, not sure where else to begin. You're an observant one, aren't you? Ashley says. What do you mean, we all know, you ask, not sure what you're asking. Who's we? Ashley shifts until she's sitting cross-legged. She looks right at you. We, as in all of us. All of us here, she says, and waves her hand around the studio. Like, all of us, she says. And you realize that even if you didn't know the question, she doesn't quite know the answer. Okay, so there's me, and you've already met Elise, right? She's the witch. And then, of course, there's that jackass garden. We know a lot about Riley M. and about you. Why do you say garden is a... And here you lower your voice to a hush. Jackass. Oh, M. Always the prude. Believe me, I've cleaned up my words for your precious little ears, Ashley says, puckers lips and makes little kissy noises. Mwah. I say he's a jackass because he is one. But why? She sighs. Well, we had, she says, and then shakes her head. You know what, Em? It's none of your business. If a stripper says a guy's a jackass, you just trust her, Ashley says. Do you like your, job? You say. I know I said my face was up here, Ashley says, again circling her head with a finger, but that doesn't mean you should stare me down. You look past her to the backdrop, but catch a wry smile and a subtle shake of her head. I don't have some sob story, if that's what you're hoping for. It's a gig. Yeah, I've danced in clubs, because you're wondering that too. This is better. No one gets frisky, with me anyway. Although they keep the air conditioning on too long here, I'm sure you noticed. She glances down at her chest and you realize her skin is paler than it should be. I've been an artist model. I lay on a couch or stand by a bowl of fruit or whatever. One time this artist showed me the finished painting and I was just pink triangles atop blue squares. I told him I needed his eyesight checked. She laughs to herself. It's just a body, Em. Nothing wrong with using it to make a little money. Ashley makes it sound so normal that you almost feel compelled to agree with her. How do you know so much about us? Well, it helps that Riley insists on keeping her diary here rather than in some tear-stained journal like a normal girl, Ashley says. Then she looks, I should say, like a normal girl. Then she looks, well, not at you so much as through you. Come on, Em, she says in a voice that sounds somehow different. You already know the answer. Let's be distracted. Wait, Riley has a diary? On the computer? Sure, but don't tell me a sweetheart like you is going to try and read it now, Ashley says. Then she smirks. Now tell me, what do you know about Riley, Em? You're not quite sure what she's insinuating, but you instinctively look away. What do you know about Riley, you say, and you can't quite hide your aggressive tone like you're defending her. She can't hear us, if that's what you're worried about, Ashley says. She sighs. I don't know. She's played my game a lot. She never wins because I don't let her for reasons we've already covered. But she keeps playing. I don't know what she thinks she's going to find. If you're so moral or whatever, why don't you tell her she can't play, you ask, the edge in your voice now bare. Hey, easy, okay? She shifts a bit, and for once she's the one looking away. To be honest, we're a little worried about her, she says, returning to you. She's stolen a few cigarettes from her mom and smoked them. Even poured herself like an eighth of a glass of wine and drank that, too. She gives a breath of a laugh. She says she hated all of it, yet she says she wants to do it again. Typical rebellious stuff, I guess, but it seems different. I don't know, she repeats, then pauses as if she's trying to explain it to herself, too. I don't think this movie's going to be good for her. Oh, you say, because that's all you can think of to say. You look around the studio a bit, struck by its relative emptiness. There isn't much around here, is there, you say. Ashley gives a little exhale of a laugh. Yeah, and you can only read these books so many times. Do you want something else? You say. You're not sure you even like Ashley, but your father has ensured your good manners. I'd kill for a drink. You wouldn't believe how dry it is in this beautiful ocean of color. She gestures grandly with the arm she's not leaning on, and you get a hint of her perfume. It smells like fermenting apples. Usually at the club I could get a beer on the house at least. Hell, smoke wouldn't be too bad either. But I don't... Yeah. Where are you going to come up with either of those? Like I said, it's also freezing in here. You got a coat or a blanket or something? You shake your head no. Well, it's not true. M. We'll continue. Well, I'll take something like that too. You want to write my order down and repeat it back to me? Booze, cigarette, warm whatever. Anything any good stripper would want. Ashley gives you a genuine smile. Now you're learning something, kid, she says. Well, goodbye, I guess, you say. Yeah, okay, Ashley says. Synonyms. Here, this should keep you warm, you say. No, that's yours, Am. I couldn't take it, Ashley says. I've got another one at home. My dad thinks I'm going to college or something. Well, you should, she pauses. Here, let me give you something to get you started. Ashley sits up, takes the sweatshirt and puts it on, then hands you the dictionary from her pile of books. It's not much, but you can say you got it from a stripper who looked like she was going to a pajama party. Call her by her name. Ashley now reclines before you in her gray sweatshirt with white teddy protruding below her waist. Etc., etc. Okay, cool. We have a dictionary. Thanks, Ash. If I can call you that. Contains all the words you know, plus some you don't. That rings a bell. Oop, excuse me, wrong button. Sure you want to leave me, baby? Yeah. Come back soon, lover. Then Ashley makes some sort of disgusted sound about the quality of her dialogue. Program menu. Let's go straight to password now that I have a dictionary. Password. The password is password. Invalid parameter. What happened, you say? I forgot it's broken. Broken? Yeah, I don't know, Riley says, brushing a strand of hair from her face. It's supposed to be like that game show, she says, and then she drops her voice an octave and booms. The password is transdimensional. She gives you a patronizing smirk. Oh, wait, that's not how they said it on the show. They say, the password is transdimensional. She gives you a patronizing smirk, and you're supposed to get someone else to guess that, but you can only give one word as a clue. I've seen that show, you say. I don't know what's wrong with it. Dad couldn't figure it out either. I should take that out of the file, maybe later. What if we run it a second time? The password is password, invalid parameter. Okay, let's keep chomping down the list. I don't know anything else to do with what we have. We have a dictionary and a letter opener. Letter opener makes me want to attack those letters back in Warrior of Zanmore, but I tried that, and nothing doing, unless I could like open the letter with a letter opener. I'll try it later. CompuDoctor. Oh, look at you. Trial version. Hello. CompuDoctor trial version. You're not sure why you're here or even where here is. Theoretically, you're in some sort of medical classroom, but at best, it's a blank space you've been abstracted into. There's an electronic blackboard that shimmers. There's a teacher's desk in what would be a corner. If there were any corners or walls or a room, everything is eerily suspended in a black void, including you. You can study to learn the art of medicine, or quit and do something more fun, which would probably be anything. CompuDoctor looks out at the void with his back towards you, sighing. Doug is suggesting using the password at Infinite Adventure, but unless the password is the word password, that's something to try later. But here we are with CompuDoctor, and I want to say hello to all the people we meet. In a lot of ways, he looks like what you'd expect. He's short and thin, with a white lab coat and a stethoscope around his neck. He strikes you as a bit nebbish with his pinched face and glasses with black plastic frames. Overall, you'd like to say he looks like a professional doctor. That is, of course, save for his huge curls of red hair that make him look much, much more like a professional clown. Well, that isn't in his ASCII art picture at all. So we have Dr. Carrot Top over here. Clear throat. Hello? CompuDoctor says, "Welcome, Valerie," and then lets out an agitated groan. He turns around. "Oh, you're not Valerie at all," he says. "Sorry about that, Emerson. Things are in such a mess." His voice is tinny and high, like I am AM radio, which I will do from now on. Sorry in advance. Nothing seems very messy, you say. In fact, the ordering of everything seems impeccable. You can imagine graph paper lines like latitude and longitude nearly defining the void. "Oh, but it is. This program is supposed to be helpful," CompuDoctor says. "But how can people learn medicine when they've got this atrocious spelling? Everyone knows welcome has an E at the end of it. So much of everything here is higgledy-piggledy like that," he says. He sighs again. Wait, how do you know my name? It's pretty simple, CompuDoctor says. He drifts over to the blackboard and it lights up, showing some sort of electric white medical chart. "Computers, databases, it's amazing what you can find when you're patched in, see?" he says, and points at the chart. "Emerson J. Reynolds, date of birth, May 15th, 1972, allergies none, inoculations up to date. Father, Michael R. Reynolds, mother, Ellen," and here he catches himself at the information that immediately follows. He looks downward. "Oh, I didn't know," he says, as if his voice is made of feathers. "I'm so sorry." "Thank you for your sympathy," you say, daggers hanging like stalactites on the roof of your mouth. "No, Emerson, well, it's amazing how much you can know and still not know anything, you know." He purses his lips and looks down at you again, and looks at you again. "You sound like a moron," you say, and turn your head to reconsider the void. Let's check out the blackboard. Oh, the text has changed a bit to say, "You can study to learn the art of medicine from the jerk who thinks he knows about your mom, or quit and do something more fun, which would be anything." Don't forget about study. It's probably a good idea. The blackboard is about the size and shape of a single panel of blackboard in every single classroom at Hayes High. Yet it's on a stand with wheels so that one might be able to wheel it anywhere somewhere if one were in a place where the normal laws of physics were not temporarily suspended. The blackboard itself is electronic with an expansive screen. Underneath the length of the blackboard runs a thin metal tray. There's a piece of electrochalk glowing on the tray. The screen shows something that looks like a medical chart in the shape of an index card. It contains information about you, including some you prefer not to be on display. First, pilfer all things. You sort of trudge through the blackness and swipe the electrochalk from the tray. This electrochalk is used to write on CompuDoctor's blackboard. It shimmers in your hand, occasionally dropping a faint glint of dust. You're not quite sure how it works, but you think you'll figure it out if it seems necessary. I want to read the chart, actually. Yeah, that doctor knows everything about you, doesn't he? What a jerk. You think you hear distant thunder. Somebody at school mentioned it was going to be something like a month's rainfall in one day. Ooh, flooding. Let me just write stuff. Hi. Right isn't used in this story. You've got the electrochalk and you're confident you'll use it when necessary. Thanks, game. I appreciate it. Let's study. What would you like to learn about today, Valerie? Heart, spine, or quit? Let's get a spine. A diagram of the top part of the human spine lights up the blackboard. Atlas, C1 vertebrae. Vertebrae. Axis, C2 vertebrae. Typical, C3 vertebrae. I'm pretty sure those are all spelled wrong. Spinal discs, return to main menu. All the same to me, buddy. CompuDoctor stands at the blackboard. His voice is patient and high. The atlas is the top of the spine. It is made of bone. It connects to your skull. The atlas allows your head to move up and down. If your patients ever told you you'd lose your head if it wasn't attached, you can thank your atlas for keeping your head on straight. Then CompuDoctor offers a grim smile. Keep going. CompuDoctor looks at the diagram of the spine. He says in a tone meant to placate children, "The axis is below the atlas. It makes up a part of your neck. Would you like to eat a pickle dripped in castor oil?" If you just shook your head no, you were using your axis. The axis lets you rotate your head back and forth. CompuDoctor spends a few extra seconds considering the glowing spine. "A pickle dipped into castor oil," he says mostly to himself. Kids don't even know what castor oil is. So he has a problem with typos. CompuDoctor is sad about typos. Not that he's said that out loud yet. He's pointed in that direction without actually requesting our help. "All vertebrae have a letter and a number," he says. "Did you know vertebrae means turn in Latin?" Then he's cut off and replaced with a message. "More information provided in full version." Provided, indeed, CompuDoctor mutters. "Spinal discs are very important," CompuDoctor says, overexcitedly. "They act like a shock absorbers. You wouldn't want to have a bone grind against another bone, would you? Spinal discs cushion the blow. They have a lot of water in them. They are made of layers. The outside layers are tough, but the inside is very soft, almost like gelatin. But don't eat it." Then CompuDoctor shudders, because kids are going to get spinal discs in their trick-or-treat pumpkins and are going to try eating them, apparently. Well, okay, that was funny. I guess we need to read about the heart. There's going to be something in here. CompuDoctor glides over to the left side of the blackboard, which comes to life with a crude animation of a human heart, lurid red and blue arrows entering and leaving various ventricles and atria. He says in a voice meant for children at library story time, "The heart is one of the most important organs in the body. It pumps blood everywhere you need it. Blood goes out from the heart through the arteries. It comes back to the heart through the veins. The heart is a strong muscle. You should love your heart." CompuDoctor points vaguely around with his left hand. That's our entire lecture on the heart. Come back soon to learn more about the amazing human body, Valerie. Okay, I guess we need to talk to this guy some more. What are we doing in here? Why? You think about it, but you know what? No.
He didn't need to bring up your mom like that. You feel like you need to cool down for a minute or two. Okay. I take the hint, Emerson. Yeah. What do we got? We have chalk and a dictionary. We've messed around with the password program. Let's try Infinite Adventure. See if we can make any more headway in that. Is the password in fact the password? Good. Awesome, you say, because awesome, you say, because that's what a sighted kid said in 1987. That's getting very metagame, but okay. Next disc. Insert disc number 2. Oh, come on, you say. Riley leans over you to get a closer look at the screen, as if she doesn't believe what's there. It only came with one disc, she says flatly. Are you sure? Do you think a game as grand and detailed as Infinite Adventure needs more than one? You feel the hairs rising on the back of your neck, but you swallow an effort to coax them back down. That's just great, you mutter. Riley returns to her seat and shrugs. It's that witch, you say, a moment before you realize that's ridiculous. Riley either doesn't hear or chooses to ignore you out of kindness. Excuse me. It doesn't seem like she knows anything more about the missing disc, and she's probably secretly happy you can't play Infinite Adventure anymore. Oh, we're just stuck inside of next disc. I hit inventory, and we get popped back out to the program menu. Well, I know a place where there are discs, because CompuDoctor had a whole lecture about them. I suppose that can oh, disc number 2. Let's go. I'm gonna go mess with that. Gonna go mess with that. You're not sure why the hell you're here, or even where here is, or why you're still here. CompuDoctor floats back towards his desk with seeming resolve. How did we change? I need to scroll back to remember how we got into these things. Pardon me while I do a bit of scrolling. Oh, study. Righto. Zoop. You wonder if you should see what other poorly spelled pontifications this program might have. You might even make the spine glow on the blackboard again, but ultimately you decide you have many, many better things to do. Okay, I thought I could get the second disc from the vertebrae. It seemed like a good idea. Oh, they're still there. Okay. In between the vertebrae are these weird little ovals drawn in purple. The lowest oval, between the second and third vertebrae, seems to glow a little brighter. Well, yeah, let's pilfer that thing. Okay. Not sure why this works, but I'm going with it. With great effort, you manage to wade your way to the blackboard while CompuDoctor's back is turned, staring yet again off into the void, lost in his misery of misspellings. You grab the spinal disc between C2 and C3 and immediately regret it because it feels like a raw chicken breast. But with your other hand, you scrawl on the board with your electrochalk, drawing an oval that looks like the disc. It should be good enough. You trudge back to your approximate starting location, arriving just as CompuDoctor turns back around, glancing at the board, but not noticing anything amiss. That's disgusting. You hold a spinal disc. There's a sentence you never thought you'd describe your life in any way. You prefer if it didn't, though, because the disc is gelatinous and leaves your hand rather damp as you hold it. It's about the size of a silver dollar your father once gave you. He found it when he was knocking down the wall of an old house. Wow, that's heavy. I'm going to take a break because I need to go pour myself a glass of water, and I will be right back. I am back. Do you like my Tonight Show thing? I like it. Right. We have a disc. It is disc number 2, literally. Let's get out of here. Let's do the thing. Yes. Doug gets the reference. Where were we? We were not in strip poker. We were in Infinite Adventure. Sure. Let's do it. This is the worst. Sure. Whatever it'll take to get this thing out of your hands. You jam the spinal disc into the disk drive in the front of the computer. Is soon covered by a flow of spinal goo. Once inserted, the computer burbles in a way that would almost sound idyllic were you next to a forest stream. But instead you're doing something completely cuckoo, and you don't get why Riley seems unfazed. You have no idea why you're ruining your computer or why you care so much about Infinite Adventure. You're about to apologize and run outside, hoping to drown in a flash flood. And then the program seems to be working again. And then you come to a house, not unlike the previous one. Not unlike the previous one. I guess that was the title all along. Infinite Adventure presents The Harried Witch. Adventure number 4. Difficulty level. Repetitive. Office. Yeah, you're back in the witch's office, which looks the same and worse. There's still the long desk in the middle, the telephone, the papers everywhere, but now there are cardboard boxes shoved against a wall, and the witch is constantly walking between them. You can go east to the hall. The witch is still talking on the telephone while throwing things from her desk and office into the boxes with little regard for their taxonomy. As you materialize? Is that the right word? Regardless, as you arrive, however you arrive, into the office, you instantly recognize it, and somehow it's even in more disarray than before. The desk is maybe more bereft of papers, but the floor and chairs are definitely more covered in them. The witch is clutching the telephone receiver between her shoulder and ear while she rifles through some papers. It's only a moment until she notices you. She slams down the phone. "What are you?" she begins, and as she did before, she looks directly upward. "Christ," she says, more to herself than anything. "Harried, am I?" She returns to you. "You certainly are a perseverant little adventurer, aren't you?" she says, her smile like lightning. "I think I was pretty clear about the circumstances that are circumstantiating around here," she says, and sweeps her arm across the room. "We're packing up, moving out, yeehaw." You've learned to speak before she can draw a breath to say more. "What's going on? Where are you going?" She seems surprised by the question. There's a silence you haven't heard yet in this room. "You must like this game," she says cryptically, "and whatever you think you'll find here." She pauses again, and then sharply claps her hands. "Very well, I will be happy to oblige," she says, even though you don't think you've asked her to oblige anything. "How about more adventures? How about more infinity? How about you prove to me how much you love it here? Head to the study, precious little adventurer. Come back with evidence, or better yet, never." She's already returning to the telephone when she snaps her fingers. You feel your inventory probed, and then you move someplace else. Hall. You're in a carpeted hallway that's notable only for its dimness. There's a fake potted plant in a corner, the office is to the west, and the study is to the north. You look at Riley, who is already staring at you. "Difficulty level repetitive," is all she says. Let's look at the non-interactive things. Yes, we've already seen that. It was in the office earlier, but now it's here. What are we bringing here? Evidence about how much we love it here. Well, excuse me. Drinking. Study. Compared to every other Infinite Adventure room you've been in, this one is lavishly furnished. There are floor-to-ceiling bookshelves brimming with leather-bound books. There are several leather chairs, an equal number of standing ashtrays beside them, and a roaring fire in the fireplace that makes the parquet floor and the bookshelves glow a warm orange. Most interestingly, upon the handsome desk in the corner, there is a computer that seems very similar to Riley's. The hall is back to the north. On the desk is an elegant computer. We've already been told that, but okay. As far as you can tell, it's like Riley's computer, only somehow more elegant. It's turned on, but doesn't appear to be plugged in anywhere. Uh-oh. The screen is blank, save for a blinking cursor. The witch seems to suggest you can play it. We can get more infinity out of this. That seems a little early to incept. I don't know about it. I want to look around a little bit first. You drag your finger along the book's spines until you stop and withdraw one. It has warped pages. This one appears to be a collection of linked short stories where an arrogant architect dislikes soldiers. You put the books back. I'm guessing these are going to be random. It has a hideous purple cover. This one appears to be a novel where Achilles refuses to accept rational theories about autumn leaves. You replace the book. Procgen. I think we're in Procgen territory. I will do one more because of the law of threes and then no further. You pull a book off the shelf. It has a water-stained interior. This one appears to be a memoir where a race of dwarves celebrates today's pop stars. All right. Could look at all the scenery. I suppose we're looking at some of the scenery. Several leather chairs dot the room, each a different color. You wonder if each is made of a different animal. You remember how Mr. O'Callahan brought in alligator, elephant, and shark skins and made everyone pass them around in an unnerving day in 4th grade science class? I suppose so. Everything I can remember. Each ashtray is on a wooden stand beside a chair. The ashtrays are made of amber glass and are empty, though there's a general whiff of pipe tobacco in the air that probably came factory installed in this room. Right. Again, it's just flavor. The computer is here for us to incept ourselves into. Oh, right. North. And that's all we can do. Okay, it's inception time. Whee! Welcome to Infinite Adventure version Infinity. 0/3. Play, autoplay, or quit. This is different, I think, you say. What's autoplay? I don't know, Riley says, clearly bored by now. She looks away. If it means the game can infinitely adventure on its own, that's fine by me. I'm going to go straight into autoplay, friends. And then you come to a house not unlike the previous one. Infinite Adventure presents The Historical Troll, Adventure number 5. Difficulty level, autoplay, drawing room. You are in the drawing room. It is creepy. You can see northeast. You can see a fake troll here. Talk to a troll. I am certainly a history buff, the troll says. I even saw an original copy of the Magna Carta in this very spooky mansion, but someone has stapled it to the wall. I'd be grateful if you could bring it to me without further damaging it. Tickle troll. He doesn't seem to be particularly ticklish. North. Bathroom. You are in the bathroom. Someone has slashed the wallpaper here. Exits. South. You can see a staple remover here. Examine remover. A typical black staple remover. Take remover. Taken. South. East. Master bedroom. You are in the master bedroom. You think you hear a spaceship crashing somewhere. You can see the Magna Carta here. Examine Magna Carta. It appears to be one of the few remaining exemplifications of the documents. It is in excellent condition. The fact that it is stapled to the wall, notwithstanding. Take Magna Carta. You can't just take it. It's stapled to the wall. Remove staples with staple remover. You carefully remove the 8 staples that fasten the Magna Carta to the wall. Both the staples and the Magna Carta fall to the floor. Look. You can see some staples and the Magna Carta here. Listen. Listening again, you can no longer hear anything. Maybe you're imagining things. Take Magna Carta. Taken. Inventory. You are carrying a staple remover, a dictionary, a letter opener. Absolutely chuck the staple remover against the wall. The staple remover shatters into smithereens. West. Drawing room. You're in the drawing room. It is creepy. You can see a fake troll here. Give Carta to troll. Thank you, friend. I shall report my success to my fellow barons. Sic semper tyrannis, the troll says cryptically, and then he disappears into a puff of green smoke. You win! Welcome to Infinite Adventure, version Infinity, 1 of 3. Whoa, you say, beginning to scroll back and read through everything that just happened. That was weird. Yeah, Riley says, leaning a bit closer to the screen. What do you think it means? I have no idea. Maybe we could ask the witch about it? Didn't she say she wanted proof of something? Yeah, I think so. Maybe play it again? Riley says, her voice small. I want to autoplay. Although if you autoplay, you absolutely chuck the staple remover against the wall. Let's autoplay once again and then play the last iteration. I like that idea. The Terrified Zombie, adventure number 6. You are in a foyer. The walls are painted light blue. You can go east. You can see a zombie here. Talk to zombie.
Hello,
The zombie says, shaking.
I'm supposed to have a very important lunch in the dining room, but there's a hippopotamus in the way. Could you somehow help me get past it?
East, sitting room. You are in the sitting room. The corners are covered with dead moths. Exits are south, east, west. You can see a very angry hippopotamus here. Examine moths. They look slightly weird but inconsequential. Examine hippopotamus. It looks very angry and on the verge of getting very angrier. East, the very angry hippopotamus blocks your way. Push hippopotamus. The hippopotamus snorts menacingly as you draw near and you step back from it. South, the salon. You're in the salon. You feel like you're trespassing. Doors lead north. You see a hypnotist here. Examine hypnotist. A hypnotist stands in the center of the room. She is dressed in a coat and tails and she twirls a gold pocket watch from its chain. Talk to hypnotist. Are you interested in being hypnotized? She says. I can make you think you're a chicken. With that, she whirls her watch in a mesmerizing manner. You now think you're a chicken. Peck hypnotist. You peck angrily at the hypnotist's feet, and she shrieks in pain, dropping her pocket watch. The spell broken. You no longer think you're a chicken. Take watch. Taken. Examine watch. The pocket watch is made of gold, and it is attached to a fine golden chain. Hypnotize hypnotist. You try to twirl the watch around in the same way that she did. You attempt to telepathically convey chickeny thoughts to her. They must work because the hypnotist begins scratching and pecking at the ground. Talk to hypnotist. The hypnotist says. North, sitting room. Dead moths, very angry. Hypnotize hippopotamus. You attempt the same motions and thoughts as you did with the hypnotist. It's not clear if the hippopotamus is now more or less chicken-like, but it is markedly drowsier. It stumbles into a corner and begins to sleep. You can now go east. Dining room. Someone has left muddy footprints here. Obvious exit. West. Sitting room. You're in the sitting room. Foyer. You're in a foyer. The walls are painted light blue. You can go east. You can see a zombie here. You give the zombie a detailed recounting of what has transpired, and now the zombie is terrified of you in addition to the hippopotamus. Take zombie. The zombie is terrified of you and seemingly everything and refuses to go with you. Hypnotize zombie. You spin the watch around like a yo-yo and try to conjure confidence in the zombie. It works perhaps too well because he looks out of the foyer, through the sitting room, and into the dining room. He sees the path is clear. Out of my way, he bellows, shoving you aside and begins shambling eastward. You win! Welcome to Infinite Adventure, version Infinity, 2 out of 3. Play, autoplay, or quit. This keeps getting weirder, you say. Riley makes chicken noises in response, but they seem sympathetic rather than mocking. If one can infer emotions from chicken noises, then she laughs. Well, okay. I want to take inventory. We got a pocket watch out of that one, and we didn't smash it. I was thinking autoplay would result in the absolute destruction of whatever we pick up. Excuse me. I want to try quitting and talking to the witch before hitting 3 out of 3, because I don't know what happens when we do that. So it's okay. We can disincept ourselves. That's good to know. The witch is still talking on the telephone while throwing things from her desk and office into the boxes with little regard for their taxonomy. She'll watch to witch. That's a nice sentence. That doesn't seem like it would prove anything to her. Fine. The pocket watch is made of gold and is attached to a fine golden chain. The witch looks up from packing and sees you enter her office again. She glares at you, snaps her fingers, transporting you back to the hall. Okay, time for more computer fun. Let's autoplay because it's hilarious. What's the worst that could happen? And then you come to a house, not like the previous one. The Mirthless Sheriff, adventure number 7. Autoplay. Parlor. You're in the parlor. You feel like you shouldn't be here. Doors leads north, south, west. A mirthless sheriff stands here, filing his nails. Examine sheriff. He's a typical Wild West sheriff with a huge hat, cowboy boots, and a tan vest with a tin star pinned on it. He looks like someone who is joyless and could use a laugh. Examine hat. It's probably a 10-gallon hat, but you have neither gasoline cans nor milk jugs to accurately measure its volume. Talk to sheriff. Scram, he says, not looking at you, still filing his nails. Oh, they look smooth enough to you. Take file. Go get your own, the sheriff snarls, clutching in his fists until you back away. He then resumes, filing his nails. You're in the closet. It is small and dim, exits north. There's a tall wooden cabinet here. It's got a glass panel set in its front door, and light dimly shines from within it. The only thing in it is a small trophy. The cabinet is locked with a brass padlock. Examine trophy. Incompat item, autoplay error, $07E5, resuming in play mode. This game is broken, Em, Riley says to you, her speech slow and staccato, explaining something painfully obvious. Can we please do something else? Just, you begin, then sigh. I need to know, you plead, although you have no idea what you mean. Riley shakes her head and huffs, but she doesn't take over the keyboard either. So we're in the closet, and there's a trophy here. Even without reading it, you know exactly what it is. It's a little plastic trophy, maybe 4 inches tall. A glued-on label at the bottom says, "You're the best." There was this dumb thing in 7th grade where the teachers would decide on a student every week who would get a trophy. By the end of the school year, pretty much everyone had one, even you. But not Riley, something she mentioned darkly once, and it seemed to hang over her like some weird cloud ever since. It's not clear why she'd care about something so pointless, but you've learned not to mention it, and especially not to joke about it. I want to give the trophy to Riley. I want to... we have to unlock we have to find a brass key. We still have the letter opener. The opener, as I call it. It does have it has a brass handle. It's a padlock, right? You try to jam the letter opener into the lock's keyhole, but nothing happens. Well, I tried. Read the dictionary. Okay, fine. Body is made of brass. The shackle is steel. So can I cut the shackle with the opener? Thanks, game. You're the best. You're the best. Oh my god, okay. Buddy, come on, man. I was trying. Okay. Well, I know what we can do here. There's the merciful sheriff. We can hypnotize him. Hypnotize. Hypnotize. How do you spell sheriff? I have a problem with that one. Sadly, this does not appear to be Infinite Adventure number 6, The Terrified Zombie. The thunder sounds like it's getting closer. You think you see occasional flashes of lightning outside the window. Oof, this is getting a bit never-ending story, if you know what I mean. What was the mother's name? Moonchild? Oh, what a disappointment. It's neither here nor there, my friends. Yeah. Can I tell a joke? No. Fine. I suppose we already tried all that in autoplay. Other things to try. You were in the library. Someone has broken a flower pot here. Exits are east. You can see a manual of style here. This appears to be something writers or editors use to make sure they're using the correct spellings and hyphens and stuff. It talks about when to write out numbers as words, when to use italics, and other things that would fascinate Mrs. Aliota, your English teacher. Can I just read the manual to learn all about things? No, same as examining it. Okay, so we now have a dictionary and a manual of style. We're ready to get serious about writing an essay or something. Broken flower pot seems a little weird but unimportant, even if you examine it a second time. You are in the guest chambers. It is warm. You can go south. You can see some wax lips here. Well, the witch mentioned that, and they are funny. I'm gonna go straight to wearing them. Sure, you found them playing a ridiculous computer game within the ridiculous computer game itself, and it's making your head hurt. You put them in your mouth and bite down, hoping to commune with the ridiculousness. It doesn't work. Am I going to get a being worn? I'm getting a being worn. That's what we're here for. You say to the sheriff, wriggling the wax lips around with your tongue. He seems prepared to give you some grumpy response until he looks up. He sees precious little you with your oversized, overly red lips and begins to smile. And then he begins to giggle. Then he drawls, "That sure is funny right there," and then begins laughing harder, from a belly laugh to cackling to uncontrollable howls that start to frighten you. He's crying, he's clapping, then slapping his knees, turning red and having trouble breathing. And with one final peal of laughter, he disappears into a shower of electrons, his nail file clattering to the floor. Well, that sure did happen. I'm going to doff. You spit the wax lips out of your mouth and into your hand. They don't taste very good. Role-playing, my friends. Role-playing. Let's get that file. So what's this? It looks new and rough. Okay. It's a nail file. So, can we... Still don't have a key. I don't think this will work. Really? Oh dear. You begin sawing away at the padlock with the nail file, and after a fair amount of effort, the lock pops open, leaving a ruined padlock and an equally ruined file. You open the cabinet and withdraw the trophy. You win! Welcome to Infinite Adventure version Infinity. 3 out of 3. Play, autoplay, or quit. I'm going to take inventory. We have a trophy. I am going to pop back into reality, I think. And continue quitting. And continue quitting. Oh. Yeah. Things are getting weird. All right. No. You'd know that would definitely make her angry. Okay. I thought maybe she wanted her own trophy. But, yeah, we don't even want to broach this with her. Not even to finally give her a trophy. All right. Very well. That's not what we're here to do. That seemed like a possible ending. This seems like ending 1 of 3 discovered here, but alas, it's not to be. So we can we hypnotize her? I don't know. Oh boy, no. I want to show her stuff. We are here to play games. That's what we're here to do. Let's talk to Riley a little bit while we're out here. You're pretty afraid to ask, but you feel like you need to. What's up with strip poker? You try to think of something else to add, but fail. Pretty fun, eh? Em? Pretty fun, huh, Em? Riley laughs. You should try it sometime, she says, knowing you never will, but enjoying your pinch reaction. Do you still like Warriors of Zanmore, you say? You know it's an old game, but it's one of your favorites. It used to be one of Riley's, too. I don't know, Em. I know we used to play it a ton, but it's kind of old, you know? All the letters and stuff. Sometimes it's better to move on, she says. But the final sentence seems to catch her unexpectedly, and she stops talking. What's that CompuDoctor program? Oh, that stupid thing, Riley says. Of course, Dr. Alexander. Riley always called her mother Dr. Alexander, never Mom, and with a dismissive English accent, would never agree to something like that. It's something she's supposed to try out and give her It's something she's supposed to try out and give her feedback about it. I don't know why she said yes. She doesn't have the time and she hates computers. I guess it's a favor to someone. I checked it out and it seemed like a lot of the things are broken. Yeah, it seemed unfinished is the word you settle on. I should just delete it. It's not like Dr. Alexander would notice, Riley says. Does your mom still smoke? You say, in as neutral a tone as possible. Of course Dr. Alexander still smokes, because you can't be a doctor without being a hypocrite, Riley says bitterly. Can I have a cigarette? You say. You can't believe those words are coming out of your mouth. Why, goodness gracious mercy heavens, Riley says in a goofy drawl. Whosoever would think Emerson Reynolds would desire a smoke? She smiles and then returns to herself. Are you being serious? Yeah, I guess. Riley regards you for a moment, but you can't read her expression. Yeah, I know where she keeps them. She thinks I don't know. Hang on a sec, and don't play anything without me. She flies up from her chair and out of the room, leaving you to ponder the storm outside and how February is your least favorite month. All that gray. It seems like it's only 30 seconds when she comes flying back in. Just where I knew they'd be. Listen, if you want to smoke it later, we'll have to do it in the garage or something. It'll just stink up here. Then she hands it to you. Okay, you say, your lungs constricting. Now I'm worried about Dad. Will your dad be home soon? You say. You like Riley's dad. He's always talking about computer stuff, even if you don't always understand it. He's working tonight. Won't be back until midnight or something. I'll have to make dinner later. You're not sure what her dad does. Neither he nor Riley talk about it, but his schedule seems to jump around a lot. It's weird that you don't know, because the fact that Riley's mom is a doctor aggravates her to no end. You're not sure what else you want to say, so you look away from Riley, back to the computer screen. Okay. Let's, I haven't talked to our friend the stripper, whose name I've already forgotten. Ashley, that's it. She likes cigarettes, and her name is Ashley. Sure, why not? If it recognizes smoke, what do you guys think? Nope. Nope. I brought you a cigarette just like you wanted, you say as you hand it to Ashley. She reaches out, takes it, and rolls it around tentatively in her fingers. Maybe you're more mature than I thought, she says. She snaps her fingers, and instantly, the cigarette is lit. It's an old trick, Ashley says, again possibly reading her mind. A pixelated cloud soon floats above her. Not bad. Not bad at all. I do believe this is a $100 cigarette, M. With her left hand, she reaches inside her teddy and withdraws a folded-up bill with a magician's flourish. She beckons you to take it, and you do. Don't worry, that's the only denomination they have around here. Go ahead and buy something nice, okay? She leans back, takes another drag, and tilts her head back and exhales another cloud like a tea kettle. Well, that's fun, and we know what to do with money. Sure you want to leave me, hot stuff? Come back soon, honey. Boop, 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 boop. Oh, this dude. Gardon stands before you, muttering himself about some infestation of giants. All right, we need that chainmail. Thank you for your patronage of Zanmart, the shopkeep's voice says. You feel the chainmail armor magically inserted into your inventory. All right, bye. I suppose we should look at it first. It's a shirt made of interlocking metal rings, somewhat resembling fish scales. The armor would make the wearer relatively impervious to small weapons and animal attacks. It's quite heavy. Brought you some armor, you say rather proudly, hefting it into Gardon's hands. Straight from the shop, Gardon says, eyebrows raised. But then he examines it closer and laughs, the kind of laugh that springs from your gut. Verily, forsooth, and yea, Emerson, this is some finery. With this new armor, I shall be nigh invincible as I dispatch my cursed foes back to Hissington. Kindly forgive my immodesty. Gardon struggles out of his tunic, again showing the wound on his shoulder. He drops the tunic to the ground. Then he dons the armor, stands tall, and breathes deep. Indeed. And hey, M, Garden says with a jarring shift in tone. So, Riley's been arguing with her parents a lot lately, like a lot. She keeps wanting them to buy her stuff. New computer games, new clothes, new CDs. I don't get it. It's been pretty intense around here, so I thought maybe I could help. He pauses and rustles his hand in the left pocket of his leather pants. I've got something for you. He leans towards you. And for Riley. He hands you a cassette tape. What is it, you say, even though it's obvious it's a cassette? It's a mixtape, Garden explains. You guys like Journey, right? That's cool, but there's so much other good stuff out there. Out in Cali, they're playing music you probably haven't even heard of yet in Ohio. So there's some Journey on there, and there's some Styx, some Zepp, but you ever heard Talking Heads? You shake your head, no. Patti Smith? No again. Sex Pistols, A Dead Milkman, Violent Femmes? Man, they're all on there. It is time to rock, Garden says, then straightens up again, majestic. Fellow warrior. That's great. Can I say tape? I don't want to spell cassette. This is the mixtape Gardon gave you. It's in a hard plastic case. On the liner inside the case, he's written a list of the songs on the tape and their artists. There's some Journey, like he said, and some Led Zeppelin, though you can never remember those titles and whether or not you like Black Dog or Deer Maker. But then there's a bunch of songs and bands you've never heard of. Apparently, he thinks you and Riley will like them. Can I thank him? That's a really cool. It's really cool. Okay. No, can ask him about the other people. So, you say, I met Ashley. She was interesting. Gardon briefly stiffens, at least enough that you notice it, and then glances into the fields of Zanmore. I know not of any Ashley, young warrior. What do you mean you don't know Ashley, you ask? You tilt your head a bit. She certainly knew you. Gardon does not say anything, and he does not meet your gaze. All right, something going on there? Guess we don't want to prod that any further. There's that CompuDoctor program. Why don't you get him to help your wound? Ah, yes, that healer. Yea, I have asked him for help many a time, and he always tells me the same thing. He is only a healer who teaches. Young warrior, pray tell, what use is a healer who doesn't heal? What did he ask for? You're not sure what else Gardon might want. Maybe you should talk to him more. I suppose I have other things to ask him about. You look around the odd landscape of characters and symbols. What on earth is Zanmore, you say? Zanmore is my beautiful home, Gardon says. It has lush valleys, fertile soil, and towering mountains. He makes a sweeping gesture across the beautiful typography. But we are not on Earth, Emerson. Verily, Zanmore is a kingdom on a continent on a planet very far away. We are a kind and peace-loving people, that is, we were until the rise of Sarnox. Sarnox, you say? You wonder where these people were when workers were handing out real names at the alphabet factory. Gardon hangs his beautiful head of golden hair low. Yea, she is Sarnox, the Snake Queen of Hissington. Okay. She has wreaked a terrible devastation upon this land, and that is why I, Gardon, warrior of Zanmar, must rise to defeat her, ere her destruction reign for all eternity. Gardon strikes the tip of his sword against the ground, in resolve. So they couldn't come up with a better name for her home planet, or whatever, than Hissington? Pray tell, who are they? But Emerson, speaking one warrior to another, you needs believe that Hissington is a wretched place of doom and misery. Gardon flashes his eyes upward, as if he can see Hissington from up there. They, as in the people who made this game, you say, clarifying your earlier pronoun. And you're not quite sure if it's your impatience with infinite adventure or what, but you feel you need to dig in here. The Snake Queen is from Hissington? How come you're not from Swordsville? Gardon bristles. Hey, I didn't write the lines, I just say them, okay? That is... shit. Gardon exhales through his wide nose. Yea, verily, he says, the Snake Queen and the treacherous dominion of Hissington have threatened our land for ages, and, he ruffles his hand through his hair. I must stop it. We must stop it for Zanmore. Who are you exactly? You say, unnerved at Gardon's break in character. Yeah, what the hell? Time for a smoke break, I guess. Gardon says. He reaches inside his tunic and withdraws a pack of Camels. No need for light when you live in electricity, he says, looking at you like he's accusing you of something. He snaps his fingers and his cigarette is lit. He drags deeply and exhales a cloud of white S's. Look, my name is Brian, okay? I'm 23 and I live in LA. So they had this audition for warrior guys, right? I figure I'm ripped. He ashes his cigarette and then needlessly flexes his left bicep. I've got great hair. I walked in and got the part. Bitchin'. And they tell me it's for this game that's playing in little geek boxes all over this US of A, so here I am. What about Zanmore, you say? Even if it's made of punctuation, the grass smells sweet. Yeah, kind of a bummer about the low-budget set. You say you're in Ohio? I grew up in Cincy. I'm in Columbus. Cool. Anyway, here I am waiting for my break. My agent is looking into General Hospital. Sorry to freak you out on here. Never did like all that Shakespearean hark, wherefore, prithee crap in high school. He looks away and puffs. We're reading Romeo and Juliet right now, Valentine's Day and all. You have no idea why you're explaining the rationale behind the ninth grade English curriculum at Rutherford B. Hayes High School is to a struggling actor portraying a computer warrior. Two households, both alike in dignity, Garden/Brian says, then trails off, his eyes following the smoke of his cigarette as it drifts up toward the permanently asterisked sky. He sighs. Truth is, I love Shakespeare, but as my father said, it ain't going to pay the rent. So instead, something is rotten in the state of Zanmore. Oh, you say, and silence stills the land. You think about what to say next. Is this a good game? Beats me. I never had an Atari or anything growing up. Seems good enough. Anyway, he says, takes another long drag. Smoke's break's gonna be over soon. Listen, once this cig's finished, I'm gonna have to be garden again, okay? You nod dutifully as if you're a child being entrusted with an important secret, which is exactly what you are. Brian clamps one of his meaty hands on your shoulder. But, Emerson, be good to Riley, okay? She needs someone, I guess. Brian takes a final drag, then exhales a swirling cloud of text. He throws the cigarette butt into a pool of blue tildes, a thin river. Verily, he says, and winks like it's a joke. Now go forth, brave warrior. I've already got it, so can I just bum more cigarettes? So, multiple puzzle solutions. We can ask Riley for a cigarette or this dude. I'm just going to get more cigs. Could I get a cigarette? You say, in as mature a voice as you can muster. Gardon's eyes flash. Ixnay on the igarette, say? He whispers through clenched teeth, and then in a booming voice. Why, Warrior Emerson, I believe you're interested in a torch. Indeed, I have a few, but torches are in very high demand in Zanmore, and it is quite difficult to get them here. Yes, I limit my torch intake quite severely, but if you could bring me something of value, perhaps we could arrange a trade. Fine. See what he wants. If Gardon/Brian can smoke and get a gig starting in a video game, maybe smoking's not so bad. OM. What would you trade for a torch? You say as casually as possible. Yes, good warriors need torches, don't they? How about this? You might have noticed my fine sword here. It works well for enemies at a certain distance, but sometimes they get too close. Or sometimes I would like to sneak up on them, which is hard to do with such an impressive weapon as my sword, clattering around as it does. A dagger might serve me and Zanmore well. Yea, if you bring me a dagger, kind traveler, I could bear to part with one of my precious torches. I got my first torch at around the same age as you, so I'd be happy to continue that venerable Zanmore tradition. Well, I have the letter opener, but I've already, unless this is a 2-cigarette game, I don't know if I want to part with it just yet, so I'm just going to say farewell, actually. And, see what we have here. We have a lot of stuff. An important item from the warrior, a mixtape. It's interesting that is offset from the rest of the inventory, and I want to go show that to Riley, actually. So I'm going to pop out of everything. Yes, I DOSed. Oh, why? That's annoying. Riley sits next to you, zoning out. You know it's not time for that yet, Em. Okay. Okay. Guess it's not time for that yet. Well, Infinite Adventure is our home base. What else is there to do? Yeah, I'm kind of lost. Play the computer. It's currently shut off. Oh, that's interesting. Wait, where are we? The computer, which was somehow previously turned on, Is this all the same? Yeah. Which is previously turned on despite not being connected to electricity is currently shut off, likely due to not being connected to electricity. Well, it's not plugged in or otherwise powered, and you can't see any way to change that. Maybe that's all the computering that we can do inside of the computer inside of the computer. I hope we've received everything we need. Did the stripper want something else? I think she wanted more things. Maybe I just need to bring cigarettes to everybody in the whole world. Interesting. She still wants some proof of how much I love things, right? You wave the trophy in front of you, trying to get the witch's attention. I get it, Adam. We'll be done within the hour, she says to the telephone, digs through a box, and then turns and sees you. I gotta go now, she says and hangs up. She approaches you and for once seems at a loss for words. I think this is proof that we've infinitely adventured, you say. She takes the trophy from you and studies it. She looks back at you and her face falls a bit. Indeed, she says softly and perfunctorily snaps her fingers. You know she's managing your inventory again as ever, and then clenches her fist and looks down. She snaps her fingers one more time, and you're gone. Program menu. So that's it, you say. The entry's still here. Yeah, you could try again, I guess, Riley says, and now she sounds sad too, and the whole situation is unnerving. The rain continuing to slap against the house isn't helping. Most of our things are gone, except for the mixtape, the manual of style, and the dictionary. Fine. I want to talk to Ashley one more time. Ashley would really like a drink. Okay. Smoke and drink. Let's see. Beep, beep, beep. I don't think Zanmore Dude can give us anything else. CompuDoctor, I don't know how he's connected to a drink in any way. Let's talk to Riley a little bit. I'm obsessed with this. I don't know. Let's ask her about Mom. Where's your mom? Did you say she was gone? You say. Yeah, Dr. Alexander is at a conference like she always is. Riley rolls her eyes and looks away. Just like she was when she decided to uproot everything and move her stupid practice to Wisconsin. You don't know what to say about that, so you just let the bitterness hang. That is all we're going to get from Riley. Rain pelts Riley's house in uneven sheets. Does the poster change magically? No, it's still the same one. We are not playing Andrew Plotkin's Shade. Anyway. Spoiler, did that actually have art that changed? I might be thinking of something else. Righto. Back to playing games. That's what we're here for. And then you come to a house not unlike the previous one. Infinite Adventure presents Not Unlike Adventure number 8. Difficulty level, Mimetic. I will say, as an aside, it is now 8:30. I've been playing for 2 hours. I'm just going to keep pressing ahead. I sense we are nearing some sort of denouement, so I'm just going to keep playing. We'll see where we are in not more than an hour, let's say. The office. You are in a room that could be an office, but it doesn't look like much of anything anymore. Most of the contents are packed in moving boxes shoved against one wall. The furniture has been removed, save for the desk upon which there might be a computer, but isn't. An office chair and an old folding chair. There are still a few random items in the room, as happens when people start to move and aren't sure where to pack everything. One framed artwork remains hanging on the wall. M? Riley says. after reading the description. Weird. Let's look at the art. Some sort of pop art, portrait, etc. M? Riley says again. This is my house, she says, her voice rising. That's our stupid painting right there, she says, pointing to the artwork, the real one left hanging in her house. Then she turns back to you. What the hell is this? Is this some kind of joke, Em? Do you think this is funny? She pauses, unsure. Go east, she demands. But it doesn't say you said. I said go east, goddammit! She rips the keyboard away from you, rattling the desk and the monitor. She stabs the E key, followed by enter. East. Hall. You're in a carpeted hallway that's notable only for its dimness. There's a fake potted plant in a corner. The office is to the west, and there's a bedroom to the east. See? There's our bullshit plant. And if I go north, she says, her teeth clenched as she enters the command. Bathroom. It's a typical bathroom, albeit one enamored with pink and peach. Even the soap is pink, and the padded toilet seat cover, too. The hall is back to the south. I told you! Riley screams. She leaps up, grabs the folding chair she was sitting in, and hurls it against some of the moving boxes. The whole house seems to shake, and you maybe hear packed glass breaking. You don't know what else to do other than stare at her, transfixed. You watch her face cycle through emotions, her breathing labored. She wildly scans the room, then glowers at you on the verge of crying. I thought I could trust you, she spits, then runs out of the room, slamming the office door behind her. So we're in the office and the bathroom now. And there's a toilet. Yeah, all the standard bathroom things are here, but you're freaked out by whatever's going on, so there's no reason to dawdle here. But I want to pee. I want to flush. Okay, all right. Back into character. Okay, you're in a carpeted hallway that is notable only for its dimness. There's a fake potted plant in the corner. Office is to the west and there's a bedroom to the east. It's fake. Before you can move anywhere, the witch shimmers into existence in a confetti of red sparkles blocking your path. Far from being surprised, you're ready to start speaking. You're ready to start speaking before she does. Of course she's behind this. Why are you here? Where's Riley? Hello, Em, she says gently. I'm just checking up on things, I suppose. You already know where Riley is, besides. She gives a faint smile. You narrow your eyes. Is this just a game to you? Whatever you're doing here? You snarl. Well, I suppose infinite adventure is a game, so by definition, yes. She watches your eyes flash. But I know you're not interested in semantics, she pauses. M, she begins, then stops and sighs. Listen, I need to tell you something. She no longer seems like the crazy, fast-talking witch anymore. She sounds much more like a high school guidance counselor. You roll your eyes. Go ahead and talk. It's not like I can stop you, you say. Maybe not, she says with a brief exhale of a laugh. But Emerson, you'll need to go to that bedroom and talk to Riley. Here, as in infinite adventure here. And I just wanted to make sure you're ready. She seems almost maternal, though you immediately shove that thought from your mind. Why can't I just go talk to her for real, you say, though you have no idea where reality and infinite adventure intersect. It makes your head throb. Let's call it a rehearsal, I suppose, she says. And we want to be sure you're prepared, and we've all helped prepare you. She begins gesturing in the air like she's flipping through file folders. You realize she's doing some sort of witchy thing again. Let me just look something up, she says, staring at the air. There's a moment's pause. Well, Em, you've helped Brian, but that's it. That probably isn't enough. Riley needs to know things are going to be okay. But none of this makes any sense. What am I supposed to do? Why don't you actually help for a change instead of doing your dumb magic tricks? Talk to the others, she says calmly, and listen to them. Really listen, she sighs. Everyone has their own problems, even if they're digital, she says, and it's not clear if everyone are the problems that are digital. Maybe both. It's up to you, though. I just want you, she says, and then trails off. Riley's bedroom is to the east, as you know. Good luck, Em. She needs you. She pauses. And it was Nice to see you again, she says, and now it seems like she's going to cry too. Instead, she breathes deeply. Onward, precious adventure, you, she says, and takes one last look at everything. You, the dim hall, the fake plant, and waves her wand in a circle over her head. She leaves as easily as she came, the red sparks quickly fading. Okay, we need to help more people. My sense here is that we can now trigger the end game whenever we want by going into the bedroom. And the hint is we should help more peeps. So let's talk to more of the digital citizens. Oof. Okay, that was an oof. That scene was an oof. We've done that. Offices to the west, bedroom to the east. Let's talk to some people. So she wants a drink. You grudgingly decide to try talking to CompuDoctor again. You look around at the strange emptiness, which now seems blacker than it already did. And even though you're not the kind of person to curse, you say, "What the hell is this place anyway?" CompuDoctor turns, his voice cloyingly sweet. "Welcome to CompuDoctor. It's a place where kids can learn all about the human body, and I'm CompuDoctor, and the program is called CompuDoctor. The programmer wasn't very inventive, certainly." "Why did you say Riley's mom's name when I got here?" CompuDoctor pushes his glasses up the bridge of his nose. "Valerie is supposed to be evaluating the program. It's educational software they want to sell to schools. But I'd give a snowball's chance in heck for anyone to buy it. It's embarrassing," CompuDoctor says. "One typo isn't the end of the world," you say with a dismissive sniff. "Emerson, have you ever been to the beach?" "Of course I've been to the beach. Everyone's been to the beach," you say. "Have you ever gotten sand in your eye? Who is this guy? Maybe there was a typo in your name and you're actually CompuDork." "Emerson," he stops and breathes deeply. "I know you think this is stupid. The point is, a typo is like a grain of sand in your eye. One isn't so bad. 1,000 of them will blind you." "We're learning about metaphors in English class, and that's a terrible one," you say. "It's a good thing I'm not a poet, because I can't spell worth a darn either," CompuDoctor says, and he offers a sad smile as a truce. One moment while I need to send a text to a loving family member wondering why I'm not responding. Oh, actually.
One moment, please.
Yep. That is me promising to give my brother a post-Christmas call at the conclusion of this game, which I shall in fact do, because this game is about family and so am I. Right. Why don't you fix things? Wrong window. Why don't you fix things? So if the typos or whatever bother you so much, why don't you fix things, you say. "If only it were that easy, Emerson," CompuDoctor says. "I imagine you've looked around here. Things aren't what I might call finished." "Yeah, but you're here. You could change the broken stuff." "Am I here, Emerson?" CompuDoctor says. He waves his arm in a broad arc around the blank expanse. "Do you want to guess what I'm wearing underneath my lab coat?" No, you do not, but he answers anyway. "Nothing!" And then he takes his hand and undoes his top 5 or so buttons. You have no interest in looking, but you do because you think it's polite or something, and you see what he means. He's literally made of nothing beneath his coat, just more black void. He waves his hand inside of himself for effect. "Nothing up my sleeves either," he says, sliding one arm of his coat to reveal the same nothing where you previously thought there was an arm. "It's just a hand out in space." "But how are you even standing," you say. CompuDoctor drifts over to his desk, and you realize that Drifting is not the same as walking. Of course, he has no legs or feet. Does it hurt? It can't hurt you if you don't have it, he says, running a hand over his desk. Then he looks straight at you. And I know, you know, that's a lie. I don't use a computer very much except at Riley's house. What's this database thing, you say? A database is a collection of information. It could have everyone's telephone number in a city, or a giant list of medical facts. It's kind of like an encyclopedia. They're pretty amazing. But encyclopedias are huge, you say, though both of you know that. They're big, but they become a lot smaller if they're just words. Computers are good at storing words. Unless somebody screws it up somehow, CompuDoctor says, and drifts to his desk, a bit lost in thought. Why are you so worried about spelling anyway? It's not just spelling. This is supposed to be a professional program, CompuDoctor says, then frowns. I should know these things. It is who I should refer this patient to. Oh, excuse me. Is it who should I refer this patient to? Or is it whom should I refer them to? I see where this is going, friends. Do you? One moment. You resist your urge to tell him, as Mrs. Aliota would certainly tell you, that one should not end a sentence with a preposition. If your blood pressure is 130/98, do I need to write that with words or numbers? But yes. And he starts drifting around rather agitatedly. Spelling too. The tailbone is connected to the I don't know how to pronounce this word. Coccyx, right? Is that 1C or 2? I think it's 1, you say, trusting the same sharp instincts that placed you 43rd out of 62 participants in your 6th grade spelling bee. He looks at you over his glasses. The database the programmer built is corrupted, he says, as if you know what this means. He knew he was writing incorrect things and didn't care. It was sheer laziness. He drifts away from you again. Kids should learn this stuff. This is a good program, or at least it could be. So because you're a doctor, you want it to be right, you say. He drifts further away. Do you like feet? What? Do you like feet? Do you want to learn about them, like metatarsals and phalanges and stuff? You ask weird questions. And no, you say with finality, but he turns away from the conversation before you can. No one ever does, he says, and he deflates like the balloon that he kind of is. He drags himself to the edge of the imagined classroom. I'm a podiatrist. I live in New Jersey. There was an ad in the back of a computer magazine that my son subscribes. He halts, pauses for too long, and then clears his throat as if he's struggling to say the next word. Subscribed to. Are you a doctor? Do you want to help kids learn with a computer program? That sort of thing. And I wrote them a letter about how I wanted to help kids become the future of medicine. So I was hired. They got my face and my red hair, but they just want to scam schools out of money. They don't want to help kids, he says. And you almost imagine at that moment he could fall to his knees if he had knees. A voice like a cotton swab. They don't give a damn. You never know what kind of burdens people are carrying, your mother used to say, even at the end, when all she could do was die. Damn it. Why did he have to bring her up in the first place? It can be tough for kids, you finally say, not quite sure what you mean. He doesn't say anything for a moment. Emerson, if you happen to have one of those typist spelling dictionaries or something, I'd appreciate it if you would loan it to me. English was always my worst subject. Oh, okay, you say, and CompuDoctor just looks into the blackness like it has the answers to everything, or at least key to a spelling test. Doop-a-doop. I met someone who could use a doctor, you say. I'm going to start over. I met someone who could use a doctor, you say, thinking of the red slash on Garden's shoulder. Have you ever been to Zanmore? Is that Lomix wounded again? The CompuDoctor says. Gardon's a good person. Can you help him? I can, he says, looking out into the void. But I won't. You point at CompuDoctor. You're a doctor. Your job is to heal people. I'm a teacher, and my job is to teach, he says. Do you know what the problem with a healed warrior is, Emerson? No. you say, already guessing you won't like the answer. A healed warrior is one who will get to hurt again, all in the name of glory or righteousness or whatever. He shakes his head. I'd imagine you'd agree with me if I said that it's better to keep our wounds. I've checked out a few other programs around here, you say nonchalantly. What do you know about Ashley? Oh, I wish you wouldn't play that game, Emerson, CompuDoctor says, sounding like your father. Before you can get defensive, he continues, but I understand. You're about that age, I suppose. You squint a bit. The age for what? Growing up, I guess, he says. But sure, I know her. Sometimes I visit her over there and we play cards, rummy or cribbage or what have you. But let me assure you, it is all strictly friendly. He glances at the two things that constitute his world, his desk and his blackboard. It is nice to have someone to talk to, you know? Well, you might know about a fellow doctor. I can't not ask. You soften your voice to a hush. So, do you know what's going on between Riley and her mom? Riley complains about her all the time at school. There's no need to whisper, Emerson, CompuDoctor says at normal volume. She doesn't know we're talking. I'd be surprised if you weren't already aware of that. He drifts across the void and looks out through the monitor screen, out at you in the office. He sighs. Valerie seems to be gone a lot, usually working, or else she's somewhere at a conference. I think Riley would just like some time with her. I suppose when we really miss someone, it can lead us to do strange things. Well, I think I've learned enough for now, you say. Goodbye, Valerie, CompuDoctor says, then slowly exhales. You know what I mean, Emerson? All right. I found this for you. It's something about editing, I think, you say. You struggle through the stasis and hand the book to him. He weighs it in his hand and then leaves through a few pages. Yes, Emerson, yes. Although I might be a doctor, you are the real lifesaver here. You're a podiatrist, you feel obligated to remind him. Yes, well, he smiles. Be that as it may, I must offer you something in exchange. You're not even sure if there's anything here in CompuDoctor land or whatever that would be worth having. It's just an editing book, you say. So much more, he says, but then seems at a loss about what to say next. Emerson, about Riley, he begins. God knows, I'm not a psychiatrist. I didn't even see the signs when he cuts himself off, drawing in a shuddering breath like he's going to cry. And then Riley seems, he tries to say, and again fails. Are you all right, you say. He stops, literally shakes his head to clear his thoughts, and says nothing for a long time. He breathes deeply and then gives you a soft smile. I'm fine, he says, avuncular. Or at least I will be. Now, let's see. Something in exchange, he repeats, like his little mental detour never happened. Not much has been implemented here, as I've said, but, he says, and floats to his desk. He whispers, conspiratorially. I've learned a few other things from that programmer. Do you know you can make long-distance phone calls for free? I doubt it. Well, it isn't exactly above the board, so to speak. But Riley's moving, and you want to talk to her, right? Yeah, of course. It's called freaking, and it's spelled with a PH because I know they deliberately spell it wrong. It's like playing a game with the phone company where you always win. The two of you can talk for as long as you want, no charge. Amazing what computers can do when you know their tricks. That sounds illegal. Well, it's just a few basic electrical parts, he says. You can always say a doctor prescribed it to you. A podiatrist who pretends to be a doctor anyway. He produces a blue booklet from somewhere within the desk, even though it looks just like a solid box. Happy freaking, you freak. You are so uncool, you say, and he just chuckles and says, I know. Now we have two important items. So I see where this is going. I still need to find a drink. somehow turn that dictionary into a drink. This is probably too easy. Too simple, I mean. I found this for you. It's an actual dictionary this time. That is wonderful, Emerson. Thank you again. But I'm not sure I have anything else to give in return, CompuDoctor says. That's okay, you say, and it is, because you have no idea what other weirdness CompuDoctor might foist upon you. I'm just happy I could help, you say, and you almost kind of are. Okay, so that was another redundant puzzle solution. Hurrah! We have two things, and yeah, we have to help Ashley somehow with nothing left. These are both good. Let's see. Anything less to talk to the doctor about? Nope. I think we're all set for here. For now. Emerson, if you're leaving, before you go, can I ask a favor of you? CompuDoctor says. I guess, you say. Wonderful. Could you bring me something to eat? You don't have a stomach, you say. You'd think that would change things, but I'm hungrier than I've ever been. He tries to pat his stomach for emphasis, but his hand just leaves a large dent in his coat. Something healthy, though, like an apple. Yes, an apple, you know, an apple a day. Keeps the CompuDoctor away. Yeah, well, no. Well, I don't really have a way with words, do I? He says. Are you sure you want to quit CompuDoctor? Yes. Okay, apples. What if I go back to Infinite Adventure? Oh, right, this is how we trigger the end game, which we're not. What if we go back to the office? No, nothing here. What are the items? Huh. Can I get an apple? No. No. There are boxes here. None of them are empty. Very interesting. So Doctor still wants an apple. And Ashley wants a drink. And I don't think I have any leads here to get either of these things. These are my two endgame things. I'm not about to trade them away. They're for keepsies. I'm intrigued by the random items in the room, and if you say examine items, it invites you to name a specific item. And then grabbing and then guessing what might be there and grabbing it is a adventure game trip from days of yore. I know from reading a Blue Renga blog, but that doesn't seem to be the case here. Flail. No. Okay. Nope. Oh, there's no notebook here. Well, I wonder if I can pop up to the real world. Huh. Well, let's quit. And is there anything more with Ashley I can talk about? I checked out that medical program or whatever. That CompuDoctor guy is pretty weird, you say. I suppose. He comes over sometimes, though. We play cards. Nothing you might find distasteful, she says, lowering her head and blinking coquettishly. He got kind of heavy for a while. Did he lose someone? We've all lost someone, Em. She shifts a bit so she can address you more directly. I guess it can be pretty hard if you're still trying to find them. Well, goodbye, I guess, you say. Yeah, okay, Ashley says, sighing just a bit. That's all there is to do here. This is where I get the dictionary, right? Not gonna help. Oh, these cards are still here. Okay. I tried examine books. These books seem randomly chosen from some prop department. French, algebra, a 7th grade history book, and something called The Dialectics of Philosophy. Examine cards. The backs of the cards have a simplistic checkerboard pattern. They must belong to the stripper. Touch card. You are in the precise moment of your life when we have become nauseatingly aware of Dan Hill's 1977 power ballad, Sometimes When We Touch. Anytime you even hear the word touch, immediately there's Dan warbling in your head, I want to hold you till I die. I'm sorry, I don't actually know the tune of that one offhand. So now you try not to think about the word touch, nor do you try to touch anything that's not absolutely necessary, including the playing cards. Okay, very well. And we cannot interact with the cards. Huh. Now that Riley has stormed out of the office, you have absolutely no desire to play this game. Not that you had any desire to play it earlier, either. Oh, I wonder if we can play, Xanthor. What? We just play the entire time? Amazing. So in Xanmore, you can type play, and I got, you traveled across the icy meadows of Xanmore. You slaughtered 7 mosquitoes. You gained 49 experience points. You also found a pink potion, which you take. Oh my goodness, this is opened up. Although I'm kind of assuming that this is also proc gen. I guess that's a drink. It's a glass bottle filled with magenta-colored liquid. Heal is etched in chunky letters on the glass. You don't know exactly what experience points are, but you certainly have some. Doug suggests, can you get his tunic? Perhaps this is the tunic that Gardon was wearing. It smells ferruginous. Perhaps because Gardon has slayed many a creature while wearing it. That sounds disgusting. Okay, well, we have it now. I don't want to put it on. Take another whiff of that. No, you'd rather not. Well, that seems wise. Okay, cool. Was that in the description the whole time? Yep, yes it was. And I totally missed it. Thank you, Mr. Orleans, for being extra set of eyes there. Gardon stands before you, enjoying the shade of a nearby tree, indicated by T. Cool. Any more chit-chat I can make with him? So I've got these experience points, you say, reaching into your pocket and presenting a few in your palm, where they shine dully. Well done, young warrior. Clearly you have experienced something, Gardon says. You jangle the experience points around in your hand. Do they do anything? You ask. Emerson, I have millions of them. I am convinced they will help me save Xanmore, Gardon says, and then mutters, one day. He'd be interested in a dagger. I don't want to give him a dagger. Fairly well. Okay, I have a potion. Let's, what if we play this again? Oh boy. I can just get more and more experience points. Now I have 606 of them. That is a auspicious number, and I'll just keep that and pop out of here and go visit Ashley and give her the potion. Hurrah! Text! I've got this for you. Maybe it's alcohol? You say, and hand the bottle to her. Oh, yes. Ah, yes. Straight from the glorious vineyards of Xanmore, Ashley says, takes out the stopper and sniffs what's inside. She shudders. But any port in a storm. She takes the smallest of sips and sucks in air through clenched teeth. Smooth, she whispers, then composes herself. Regardless, you brought me a drink. We're not supposed to do this, but what the hell? She lifts a hand and pulls a business card out of the air like a magician. This is a BBS, she says. She beckons you over and then hands the card to you. What's that? It stands for Bulletin Board System. It's where some of us live, sort of. It's a phone number your computer can call, and then you can do things like talk to people. But I could just call them, you say. No, you write the messages and stuff. It's for you. And Riley, you two can talk and play games, just like you do here. The phone number is in the town where she's going to live in Wisconsin. How does a computer make a phone call? Look, I'm breaking a couple of rules here, okay? Just make sure Riley gets this, Ashley says, and you walk back to a more comfortable distance for both of you. Okay, this is looking good. We have 3 things, and 3 is the correct number. And I don't know why we have a tunic left over, and I cannot think of a past thing where a tunic would be helpful, and I'm absolutely not putting it on. Maybe the doctor would like it. Oh, it's an alternate way to clothe Ashley, and she doesn't need to be Ryan Guard on. Okay, fair enough. I think we're good. I think we're ready to take this on. Okay, we're ready to do it. We're ready to be sad. Are we ready to be sad together? I think we can do it. Let's do this. Time for sadness. You're in Riley's bedroom, the infinite adventure version of it, where everything is outlined in hideous neon. Her bed and dresser, the curtains that Riley hates but her mother insisted to be hung, the scarab on the poster of Journey's Escape album cover. Riley herself seems to glow electric white. Immediately upon entering, Riley seems delighted to see you. She's sitting on the floor, slouched against the wall near her bed. Emmy, she cries, giggling. Emmy, M. The only other person to ever call you Emmy was your mother. You do not let anyone else call you that, and Riley knows it. Riley is clutching an old-looking bottle where a sky-blue liquid swirls. She must have swiped it from the poorly spelled Plains of Zanmore. She smiles and takes a chug. Riley? Are you drunk? You say. Oh, Emerson, she says, adopting a vaguely English manner of speech. Hast thou ever traversed the fine fields of Zanmar in the morn? 'Tis quite pleasingable. She takes another swig. Put down the bottle, Riley, you say, in as steady a voice as you can muster. No, she says petulantly. You put the bottle down. And look what I can do. She snaps her fingers. What is it with everyone snapping their fingers here? And little electric flames dance from her fingertips. I'm a birthday cake! She giggles for too long. Fine, you're a birthday cake. Now can you please put that stupid bottle down? No, I'm not, Riley says matter-of-factly. She straightens up and sharpens her eyes. Isn't this what you wanted, Em? She says, perfectly clear. All this infinity? You could go on and on forever. We could go on and on forever. Everyone could go on and on and on and on. She snaps her fingers again. A taller flame leaps towards her curtains. I don't want it like this, you say, opening your arms wildly, gesturing at the lurid neon. No, of course not, Riley says. Nothing too beautiful or too dangerous for our precious little Emerson. But then why do you think you keep playing this stupid game? Don't you want me? Then she snaps her fingers, and instead of flame, she transforms into the witch. But, of course, it isn't the witch, you know that by now, towering over you. Or me? The witch says. She snaps her fingers and returns to Riley. However is your mother these days anyway, she says, darkly, and then snaps and snaps again, the flames getting dangerously close to the curtains. Do we want scared or angry? Let's go angry. Let's let this out. You have no right to talk about her, you scream. You rush up to Riley and rip the blue bottle away from her. She doesn't protest. As you turn and throw it against the wall, you hear Riley snap. As the glass shatters, the liquid becomes a fireball that quickly spreads to the curtains, her bed, the Journey poster, her stuffed animals she's too old for, and everything else around her. You lose, Em, she says, and you can even hear the asterisks coming out of her mouth like shurikens pinning you against the far wall. She smiles serene as the flames drown her. You hear thunder crash, and the computer snaps off. The office. The power must have gone out. Everything is dark, save for occasional flashes of lightning. The hall, the real one, is east. And I have all my stuff, and I still got my experience points, friendo. Okay. Everything that was here before is still here, but it's tough to make out details in the dimness. No rain. The hall is even darker, with no real windows. Riley's bedroom is east, and you see some yellowish light coming from it. All right, let's not waste time. A few pillar candles glow from various parts of Riley's bedroom, giving an aura of pleasant warmth. She must have dug them out of somewhere. It's obvious Riley hasn't begun packing. Everything, her posters, her stuffed animals, the photos in the dresser, are where they've always been. Riley is on the floor, slouched against the wall near her bed, her head down, her hands pressing against her temples. She doesn't hear you enter, so you kind of make throat-clearing noises until she does. She looks up, drops her hands, and looks away. "Hey," she finally says. "Sorry for freaking out on you there." She looks away again. You scuff at the carpet a bit. "It's okay. That was pretty weird," you say. She looks back at you, her eyes now swelling with tears. What am I going to do, Em? I'm leaving. I'm leaving and I'm never coming back." Her lower lip quivers. "Everything will be okay," you say. "How, Em?" she says sharply. "I'm never going to see my friends again. I'm never going to see you again. How do you know it'll be okay?" She grimaces and closes her eyes. You take a very deep breath. Personal experience is all you can muster without collapsing into tears herself. She looks up. "Because of your... Yeah. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bring it up." "You didn't," you say, and you give a little laugh. "I did. Look, Riley, we can still be friends." "I'm sorry, I still don't see how," she says, more gently this time. "I'm going to be in some stupid small town in Wisconsin, and you'll be here. It's like 1,000 miles away." You know it isn't. But you also know literal geography isn't the same as geography of the heart. Oh my God. I'm not going to pick that. What kind of monster would pick that after all this? We're not doing that. We're doing this. Doing the music. The least nerdy thing. Start there. I've got some new music for us to talk about. Some things I think you'll like. You give her the cassette, and she scans the tracks on the cardboard insert. "This isn't your handwriting. Where did you get this?" Riley says. "It's a surprise," you say, because it will certainly be a surprise to you too. You hope Gardon has good taste. She looks at the list again. "Some of this sounds weird. Violent femmes? Dead milkmen?" "Yeah, it's some new stuff. I had someone help me," you say, hoping Riley doesn't press further. "Why, Emerson Reynolds, discoverer of new tunes. Never thought I'd see the day." "Thanks, Em. It'll be cool to listen to this on the drive to Wisconsin. I've already got the extra batteries for my Walkman so I can ignore my parents the whole way there," she says with a smirk. "I've learned about something called a BBS, you say, and you hand her the business card. "What's that? What does it stand for?" "I forget," you say, "but it's a computer thing. Like you can call into it with your computer, and I could call into it, and we could talk and play games and stuff." You wish Ashley could have explained it better to you, but you think you're doing okay. "How do you call with a computer?" I think you got a modem thing? I heard your dad talk about it once, and we could send each other messages and stay in touch. We could do it every day, or whatever you want. This one is in Appleton, I guess. That's where you're moving." "I don't really get it. I guess I'd have to see it, but that sounds like it could be pretty cool," she says. I want to be able to talk to you on the phone as much as we want," you begin. "Yeah, I know, but long distance calls." You know she's saying this for your benefit, not hers. Riley's family could afford to call the moon if they wanted. "So there's a way for us to call long distance for free," you say, and you show her the booklet with the weird cover. Then you hand it to her and she flips through it. "This looks like gibberish." I know, but we could figure it out. It's just a few parts, and you buy them at Radio Shack or wherever. It's not exactly legit, though, so. Like, stealing? Riley suddenly seems much more interested. Robbing from the phone and giving it to the call, she says, which doesn't make sense, but you understand anyway. Yeah, it'll have to be a little secret, you say. Ooh, I like secrets. Consider it well kept, M. That's it. Something to remember me by, I guess. You look away. M, this is awesome. You didn't have to do all this. Thank you. You're such a good friend. Now she's the one looking away. You're welcome, you say, but you feel the air growing thick. And M, she's looking at you again, and you can tell she's about to break. I don't want to go, she says, and she starts crying hard. You walk over and sit on the floor next to her. She buries her head into your shoulder for a bit, and you just sit there, doing everything you can to hold yourself together. Eventually, she lifts her head and does that little laugh thing people do after they cry. Wish I could pull that out on command for Drama Club, she says. She takes a breath and stands up, straightening her clothes a bit. Now, I didn't know we'd be exchanging gifts today, but I've been thinking about something. She walks to the poster of Journey's Frontiers album art that hangs next to her window. It's a weird neon cyborg head with an infinity symbol for a mouth. She carefully peels away the tape, affixing it to the wall, and then rolls up the poster. I want you to have this. Only the young can say, she says. They're free to fly away, you finish, and the two of you share a rueful laugh. Again, I don't know the tune, I'm sorry. Well, guess that's the first thing I've packed. I really should do more before Dr. Alexander gets home. I promised I would. Do you want to hang around and help? Not that it'd be the most fascinating thing, of course. Again, who's going to say no? Who are these people? Sure, you say. I can stick around for a bit. So, Riley digs out some boxes that she had stashed in her closet, and at first it's difficult since neither of you know where to begin. But then you start with the stuff that won't be immediately needed, the stuffed animals, the photos on her dresser, her other posters. You laugh and reminisce. It actually feels good, helping your friend in candlelight, even if it means she's leaving forever. And after about an hour, the power snaps back on, as do the 3 lamps in the room, and suddenly everything looks disheveled and sadder. It's also now bordering on evening. I should probably get home, you say, taking one last look at the room. My dad probably thinks I'm dead in a gutter somewhere. Yeah, she says. Thanks again, Em. See you in school tomorrow. See you then, you say, begin heading back down the hall. You put your raincoat and snow boots back on, carefully tuck the poster underneath your coat, and begin pedaling home through the rain that thankfully is no more than a drizzle by now. You half sigh, half yawn, and blink away the light from your laptop for a moment. Your office. To call it an office would be a stretch. It's more of a spare bedroom where you've assembled a crappy desk for a place to plan lessons and grade your students' math tests. It's better than sitting at the kitchen table, at least. Outside the window, the only things left shining are orange streetlights in the rain. It must be after midnight. The Journey Frontiers poster hangs on a wall. Your old laptop sits on the desk. You've hung the poster that Riley gave you in every single place you've lived. It's gotten pretty beat up with your varied moves, and the cyborg head is still weird, even for the 80s. You've had this laptop for almost a decade. It keeps running just well enough for you to be unable to justify buying a new one. It's open and on, running infinite adventures in a DOS emulator. Your classroom is next to Luis's. He teaches chemistry. Every year you overhear him patiently explain how sodium makes streetlights orange. You often wonder if you sound as boring as he does. If we can look at the tests. You can't see any such things. Welp, I guess the only thing... Can we, leave? You should probably turn off your laptop first. It's old, and you don't like leaving it on overnight. Yes, but we could play. You've played it enough for tonight. It's after midnight. Probably best to close the laptop and go to bed. Wow. Okay. Well, that's, I don't want to take the poster down. We have 2 prompts to close the laptop. I'm going to look at my inventory. You are carrying nothing. You yawn again and are about to close your laptop when a light snaps on in the hall outside your office. You hear a shuffling, and then, upon seeing the dim laptop light in your room, a head peeks into the door. What are you doing up? Hey, you say, just playing some old games? Remember Infinite Adventure? Oh my god. I hated that game, Riley says, and she flings the door open, leaving you squinting at the brightness. You've never understood how she can instantly transition from sleep to enthusiasm. It didn't make any sense, she says, but follows it up with, let me see. It's somewhat surprising to you how nerdy the 2 of you turned out, but you guess it was somewhat inevitable after all the BBSs and the blue boxes and everything. So she stands over your shoulder while you complete Infinite Adventure number 37, The Quarrelsome Ghost. You're about to begin Infinite Adventure number 38, The Vain Goblin, when she rests a hand on your left shoulder. We had such a huge, stupid fight about this game, do you remember? You flash your eyes at her and then look away, suggesting you remember all too well. That was 1,000 years ago. She pauses, scrutinizes the screen, then returns to you. Everything okay? She says. Yeah, you sigh. You turn back to her, wondering if it matters which memories are real and which are nostalgia or wish. I just miss my mom, I guess. That was a weird year. But we made it through. Even if the game is infinite, I think it's safe to say you won, she says, sliding her left hand down her body in what's supposed to be a sexy manner, but is complicated by her fuzzy yellow bathrobe and the tangle of her sleep-tossed hair. You both gently laugh. We did, you say, and hug her at her waist. She leans down and kisses the top of your head. So turn the computer off and come back to bed, dearest Emerson. You've got school on the morrow, she says, and those geometry students of yours can't perimeter themselves, you smirk again. She leaves, and the hall floods again with darkness. You glance at the blinking cursor, the goblin persistently waiting. Whatever you think you're going to find in these games, you've either found it already or else it's long gone, you suppose. You shut the computer off, get up, and walk down the hall. The real one. In your house. There's a bedroom to the east and a soft light glowing from within, waiting for you to come and turn it off. The end. Okay. That was great. That was a good experience. That took a while. Thank you for sticking with me. I'm curious how the ending changes if you give Riley different things. Maybe you're less nerdy if you do not if you give her only the tape. Maybe I'll undo and play around with that, but I don't feel like doing it on the broadcast because this has gone on long enough. Thank you for playing along with me or watching or whatever.